change my shirt and I'll go. Oh, I'm on stage. Let's not.
Hello, guys. Welcome to Rokk Players. It's been a week since last time. We're finally back, and damn, we have a good show today. First of all, no Rokk, no HOULTS. Rokk will be joining later. I don't know when, but he will jump in when he's ready. I think HOULTS is still sick with COVID, so hope he recovers soon and we can have him next week.
Sorry. Feel better, HOULTS. Steven, can you hear me?
Feel better, HOULTS. Exactly. Let's hear it all from all of you. Steven, can you hear me on 3? 1, 2, 3. Steven, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Wow.
That's for HOULTS.
Let's just not do that again. That was
no. Yeah, we have some lovely guests with me today. We have VetCloud Gaming. We have SPG. We have Ray, the gaming cyborg, and Rudiggz. So guys, thank you so much for joining. As we're warming up, and let's just go around the table here, guys. What have you been playing this week, and how are you? Ray, let's start with you.
Well, just before the show here, I played Battlefield with Rue and SPG. Loving and Bjorn, you was in one of my streams watching. I'm loving The Witcher 3, The Witch Hunt. And,
so good.
Playing that, and those are honestly two major games that I've been playing. That I'm been playing really hard, and I'm trying to look for another game to purchase out there. I don't know. It might be Gotham Knights, or it might be I don't know the new Marvel game. We'll see.
Yeah, and
I bet it's Callisto Protocol. That'd be my guess.
I heard it's hard. Rokk said it's too hard to play.
Oh, really? Is it hard?
I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, I've also heard it's hard.
A lot of games are like Dark Souls games now.
Yeah,
they're pretty popular.
I don't like that trend. I don't like that.
I heard there's no bosses.
I thought you guys were going to say every game is hard for Vet to play.
I've seen you take care of some NPCs. I wouldn't say that, Vet.
Yeah, I know. It's got to break out the yo-yo.
Yeah,
that's right.
Rudiggz, what have you been playing? How's things over your end?
Things over on my end are just fantastic. I mean, we haven't been hit with too much snow. Thanks. Check out the jersey, courtesy of It's Just Joe. Back when the Stadia days, I grabbed a Founders Edition jersey, so it was real nice. Enjoying life, having good times. That's what it's about. And then at the same time, I've been gaming on my PlayStation 5 mostly. Getting into God of War Ragnarok. Absolutely just a beautiful blend of story and gameplay together, like nothing I've experienced. I actually finished the story this week, so absolutely amazing, jaw-dropping, tears, my heartstrings were pulled. I get emotionally connected to these characters. I couldn't recommend that game enough. And then after that, I jumped back into some Souls game because that's the popular trending. And I'm trying to beat Demon Souls, the remake on PlayStation 5. And you actually get that if you're a PS Premium, the top tier. So I was able just to download directly on my PS5 without purchasing it. So I'm part of the subscription. So that was nice.
Rokk is blaming me for I don't know what. What are you doing in the middle of Sweden? I thought you were coming on the show.
Oh, he said waiting. I thought he said he was walking.
Yeah, I don't know. Rokk knows how to get on the show. He can teach HOULTS how to do it. We don't have the time to play tech support right now. We gotta listen to what SPG's up to.
Hey, well, I've been playing an awful lot of stuff. I just completed Days Gone, and I loved it. I just started Spider-Man, and I got all the way to Electro. That's really cool.
That's a good game.
That's really cool. I made it to Electro. What else? Played some Battlefield today with Ray. And I started Mafia Remake. And let me tell you, that game is stunningly beautiful. For being a remake, like, they really went all out on the reflections and on the textures and the facial animations while they're voice acting. It's a real performance. It really comes together, I think. It's very movie-esque.
They did a fantastic job with that one.
Yeah, and
the second.
But that's pretty much it. That's what I've been playing. Loving Battlefield 2042. Unlocking all my weapon attachments and stuff. It's really fun. Frustrating.
Did you get into that? Vet, what's been happening over your end this week?
Not much. Just been playing Warframe and Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So I go from killing things, aliens in space, to killing people in, the ancient Greece. So, basically the same thing I do in every game.
Nice combo.
Kill NPCs.
Have you played Odyssey before?
Yes, I love
Okay,
Odyssey. That is, and my goal for Odyssey before I play any other Assassin's Creed game is to completely finish everything in that game. I wanted everything 100%. So all the side missions is where my goal is, and that's. But the problem with it is that I get sidetracked slaughtering people. So I don't know how long it will take me to actually complete that game, because I start off on a mission and I'm doing the right thing and I'm going, and then I hop on a horse and then the sword comes out and it doesn't end well for the NPC.
I feel you. I mean, I gotta start over because my save is on Stadia, and I don't think there's any sort of saves transfer over there. But
I have the Steam version, and I bought it on Steam, and then I had it on Ubisoft Connect when I had it with Stadia and all of that. Well, and that was what I used with GFN, and I was like, crap. When I logged in on Steam, I was like, I had no save. I was at the very beginning. I was like, oh, this doesn't work. And I did find a way to transfer my Ubisoft Connect version to Steam, and so I didn't have to start over.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't transfer Stadia saves to PC for that game. You can for more modern Ubisoft games, you can automatically transfer them over.
I didn't realize I had 22 games on Ubisoft Connect, and I was like, I don't remember buying all these. And then it dawned on me that those were all the games I bought on Stadia, and I was like, oh yeah, I had Ubisoft Connect, but I was still buying the games at the same time. And then they transferred everything, and I was like, makes sense.
Nice of them to do, to be honest.
I didn't know they did that until
they certainly didn't have to.
No, and they didn't really talk much about it as well. It was more of a
sneaky,
thing.
Well, because how many people did it really affect?
Right. But usually when a company does something like that, they go out of their way to pat themselves on the back about it. They didn't really do that. I didn't see it.
Oregon, I don't think I have 700 plus hours. I might have over 100.
Associating with Stadia is never good marketing, so they just decided not to say anything.
I associated with all of you with Stadia. Well, I mean, the ones that I knew at the time, basically just SPG and Ray. Yet for some reason they're still friends with me. I don't understand it.
Hey man, you're just lovable.
Well, SPG and we're military, so we're crazy. That's what draws us together. And Ray just. We're sports fans, otherwise he would probably deep down he's a Washington fan. He knows it.
I played games with me, and he let me die to zombies. He let me get caught.
One time.
Never revived me.
Me and Ray got exploded by him one time. He came in and he was like Santa Claus. He was just throwing presents, but it was C4 all over the room.
And there was the one time that you fell out of a truck and died on a cliff. That was not my fault.
So many accidents, but so much fun.
I
But
know.
guys, let's jump into the show. But before we do, just a quick mention. I'll just share the entire screen, whatever. If you go over to rockshow.com, let's see what happens.
Look at that handsome devil on the screen there.
Yeah.
Let's go with that screen. I think there we go.
It's like he's having a good day. I think we're missing your audio. It might sound robotic or not at all.
Yeah, I'm getting that as well.
That's not me. Oh, I thought that was me for a moment.
No, it's not you, Vet.
I was starting to freak out like there's something wrong with the voices in my head.
He's like,
uh-oh.
Oh, okay. It's just
they're not in French anymore.
So there's a couple of is running for Spoken plus GFN Ultimate now, the 30th year.
Yeah,
Forspoken, win the amazing new RPG from Square Enix. 30 days of the amazing GeForce Now RTX 3080. That's awesome.
I wonder if that's the ultimate tier. Okay, yeah, nice.
Hogwarts Legacy. Super excited for that.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
let's go into some news about long discussion on Ubisoft that we have happening.
Oh, they're dead.
There's some stuff happening around the cloud gaming world, and I warm up with that. Let's do the same. The different here as well. A bit the happening.
Bjorn,
anytime soon.
Rock's got a message for you.
Okay, hang on. There we go.
HOULTS is backstage waiting. Also, your audio is coming through a little.
Like
Yeah.
you're drowning in the ocean.
Yeah, I think your bandwidth is screwed up right now.
To shut something down here. Oh,
I think
Yeah.
the share screen may have been a little much. Let's see.
there we go. Ah,
Well,
And
I'm
now
happy
that
to
the
hear that
session is
HOULTS
gone.
is feeling better.
Oh,
Now
hey,
that
there,
the,
that sounds great.
I think it's a bloody share screen. It's I think it's Chrome not liking the fact that I do many things at once or something. I don't know. Let's see if we can't get HOULTS in here. I'm gonna switch scenes and see if I can see HOULTS here. No, he's not in here. I think HOULTS is in some sort of.
He's in.
Holtz is in the netherworld.
I think he's in the wrong session.
It's in the metaverse.
What are the
Maybe
bones
joining an
say?
old link.
Nothing.
Yeah, I think he's joining one of those. I'll send. Hang on, I'll send HOULTS a new link. Give me 1 minute, HOULTS. He also has a special login that he can use, but. I don't
Hey,
think
Ray,
he's
have
tried
you
it
been
before.
watching? Ray, have you been watching Willow, the Disney Plus show? They
No,
just
sir.
finished it. The 8
No,
episodes of the first season is over.
Oh my goodness!
All 8 are up. Go
I'm gonna have
binge
to
it, man.
I'm gonna have to binge and watch it.
Oh yeah, you should.
No
man.
spoilers, but how was it?
Very
I gotta
camp,
binge watch it.
very campy. But go watch
Okay.
watch the movie first, because that's campy as hell too. But you'll like it, I think.
I've already seen the movie. That's
Right
what got me. That's why I was excited for the series.
I think you'll like the series.
Okay.
This isn't a spoiler. It's about the acting. Warwick Davis does lose the stick that's up his butt. I'll say that.
Oh.
Well, he's just a
Well,
little
he's a-
wooden. He's a little
He's
wooden
a
in
legend
the first.
anyway, so
Yeah,
come on
he is.
now.
He is. I was waiting for him to bust into the leprechaun. You know.
Oh, I know. That was like I loved him in Willow, but dude, seeing him as the leprechaun was
yeah.
fantastic.
I've come for me shilling, but I'll stay for the killing. I love that. That's awesome.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah, there we go. I've now sent the proper link to HOULTS. HOULTS, check your Twitter. You have a new link in there. Get in here, mate. There we go. All right.
Steven?
Without
can
the
you hear
screen
me?
share, let's move on. So yeah, we have obviously some new titles coming to GeForce Now this week, specifically from THQ Nordic. We have The Valiant, which I saw Rokk mentioning earlier that this was a game he thought I would love, and he's probably right. Might have to pick that one up at some point. We are getting Tom Clancy's Division 2, the Steam version. We're getting Dakar Desert Rally. I think that's already on there, but not now. It's previously only through Steam. Now it's joining with Epic, if I remember correctly. Might be wrong there. Destroy All Humans coming from 1 and 2, the remakes, dropping from both Steam and Epic. MX versus ATV Legends. I've never played that series at all.
hate
Didn't
that
even know it
game.
existed. The Steam variant. The Valiant, as mentioned, which is some sort of strategy game. And then Way of the Hunter is all joining this week. Look who it is, back from COVID. There we go.
Look at that.
In
Hey,
the
what's the
world
logo
of-
behind?
Back in the world and the living.
He's alive.
Steven, Steven.
I've never seen
you hear
him
me?
with a beard. I've never seen him with a beard.
It's
wow.
one of them effects. I just wanted to be like Bjorn.
You do
What
look
is that?
You got some work
How
to do,
long
man.
were you waving
You
from
got
the
a lot,
back?
I was waving, I was shouting, and I was just like pondering with my new beard. Like I wonder,
He just
I
wanted
wonder
to join the beard club.
I was like, I wonder if Ray likes it as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm feeling it. Looks
There
nice.
you go.
Yeah. Nice.
Distinguished.
Nice to have you back, man.
Everyone on streams got sort of like a bit of a beard and the 5 shadows, so I felt left out. So
Yeah,
glad. Good to be back.
Nice to have you back. Yeah, there's.
loving the
I think
PlayStation.
that's pretty much it from GeForce Now. Obviously, the Ada Lovelace architectures are rolling out soon.
I had a question. I wanted to ask the panel. As we're seeing all of these Ubisoft titles that keep showing up on Steam, and do you think that they're going to phase out, with that happening, that they'll phase out the Ubisoft launcher and the Kinect launcher, or whatever, the PC version, and just get rid of that? Because it seems, if you've noticed, the trend is like everything that they had on there is now transitioning to, they're porting it over to Steam for whatever reason. And I'm wondering if this is the ultimate reason, is they're going to shut that thing down at some point.
I don't know. I think they made it to connect with their players directly, to have a tab on them.
True.
So maybe if they're done with that, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think
Everybody's
they're
got a
done with
launcher.
that, and I think they want to keep it, but I think it's one of those, like, they are probably realizing, like, we've gotten all the people who were gonna go switch launcher to keep playing our games on PC. We've got them already. We are missing out on the Steam audience. Because there's a big hardcore Steam or nothing audience.
Steam is bigger, I think. I don't know if their Ubisoft launcher and the way with that overlay thing and the friends list and all that, can that even really compete with Steam? Because what's going to happen is, if you continue to bring your games and put them on Steam, how many people are going to leave the Ubisoft environment and shift over to Steam, because that's where most of their games are anyways. Really, you're just stuck using Ubisoft because that was the only place to play those games in that kind of environment. And now, if you can get them on Steam, what's the point of playing them elsewhere?
You forget there's also Amazon Luna that has that launcher as well. So I think they're still going to use it.
It's not like you can't replace the launcher. We've seen it with Origin, EA.
I know, but it is on Amazon Luna.
Well, who knows? Ubisoft's losing money. It's financially unstable in the current state of things. So
you're
maybe
getting
that's
ahead of
what they're
yourself,
looking
there,
at.
mate. You're getting ahead of yourself. I agree. It is a different discussion.
It's all tied together. I'm tied it in with my
is all
thinking
tied
that
together. There's gonna
we
be.
will eventually see this shut down. I think that's where we'll eventually see it, because if everything that's on there is eventually available via Steam, there's no sense in me having this other launcher.
Didn't we say we were going to talk about this?
Yeah, we're getting to it. It's a great tease for what's coming later.
Exactly. What the real thing is, it's all about
before
PlayStation.
we dive deep into Ubisoft, there is a Xbox and Bethesda is having a developer direct live stream on January 25th. So I know they've mentioned. I mean, it's gonna be the latest news on Elder Scrolls Online, Forza Motorsports, Minecraft Legends, the Redfall, and they also mentioned it's gonna be like a 25 minutes something with Starfall.
Starfield.
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 And there's also
having its own
Starfield
separate
something.
thing.
Oh, Field.
Yeah, I want to see
Starfield,
them.
yeah.
I want to
And there's
see
also-
them show us like 20 minutes of the game and then go. And if
I think
you
they will.
go buy it right now, that'd be amazing.
I also
I know.
saw rumors of a shadow drop of I think it was the remake of like the remaster of GoldenEye as well should be shadow dropped during that. So like these are the things we know is that Elder Scrolls Online, Forza Motorsport, Redfall, Minecraft Legends, and Starfield is going to be there. So 3 p.m. Eastern Time, January 25th. Whatever the time that is, and every other time zone I really like considering time zones. I fuck up time zones all the time. I'm not gonna translate that into other time zones. But yeah, 3 p.m. Eastern. That's what they write. Really wish they would write more time zones because.
You know what? All you have to really do, if they have it scheduled already, just click on it and set a notification. Then you don't have to worry about the time zone.
Don't miss it. It's but yeah, it's the 25th, so it's 2 weeks out. But still.
If you always F it up, there's always FAM and FPM. So just to follow that.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Dorgon. I saw that comment. Finally. I was a bit slow.
Hard doing
Oh, it
so,
just
yeah.
happened. He's
Hard
just
doing so,
agreeing
I think,
with me.
So Persona 3 Portable is coming to cloud, console, and PC on Game Pass on January 19th. We're getting Persona 4 Golden, Monster Hunter Rise comes to cloud, console, and PC on the 20th. And also just recently released Mortal Shell Enhanced Edition, Stranded Deep, and Valheim Mistlands Biome Update, the last one only for PC. So Game Pass is having some great stuff coming. There in 3 days there are 6 games leaving. Danganronpa, Nobody Saves the World, Paparazzi,
Save
the
the World.
Anacrusis, We Happy Few, and Windjammers 2 are leaving Game Pass on the 15th. Anything
that's
there
sad.
that you're gonna miss?
Danganronpa. That's what I'm going
All
to
of
miss.
them. I don't even have xCloud, or Game Pass Ultimate. I canceled it all.
I want.
Yeah, I mean, I have it. I've tried all of these games. I'm not gonna miss any of them. Like, these were not big hitters for me.
The service doesn't really work the best for me, so I scrapped it.
Yeah. And I mean, if it doesn't work great, then scrap it. Go for it. For me, it works.
Paying $18 a month for a service that doesn't work.
No,
But-
definitely.
but I'm
I did
happy
also
to
see a
wait.
rumor that we might get the family plan launching on the 25th. By the way.
Well, my family's not
still
going to know
rumors,
about that because they're not getting that either.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm definitely upgrading for that because my son has been pestering me like, Dad, I want to play Minecraft Dungeons
My
on my
kid
phone.
my 5-year-old walked into my room when I was streaming yesterday and looked at me and said, Dad. I looked at him and like, what? He said, go buy me a computer now. I said, he's like, also, it needs to be all electric. I don't want to have to charge that thing. I'm like, get out of here. That doesn't even exist. And then I was like, wait, do
I
they
love
exist where you don't have to charge? I'm like, he's like, telling me the specs. I'm like, how do you even know this stuff? You're 5. You should just be watching PBS.
Yeah, and they're like,
not
dude,
worrying
what are you
about
gonna do with that?
video
Play
games.
Minecraft.
Yeah, telling you want a car that drives itself. He'll tell you to get a Tesla.
His son's like, I asked Santa for it for last Christmas and he never delivered. So, Dad, it's up to you to get me it. And he's like, oh, crap.
Yeah. I actually. No, go ahead.
Oh no, before that one, he had already told me he demanded that I go buy him a new iMac and a MacBook and an iPad. I'm like, bro, if I could afford that, I'd be getting myself that stuff.
Yeah. My kid's
I'm like,
been pestering me for close to 6 months now. Like, Dad, I want to be able to play Roblox. Like, I want Roblox. Like, you're not getting Roblox. Like, the shit I've read about how they treat the creators, you're not getting Roblox. Like, but he doesn't seem to get
started letting him play Minecraft, and then he's like telling me these things. I'm like, dude, I don't understand any of what you just said. All I hear is Legos. Dad, it's Minecraft, not Legos. I'm like, I don't care.
Minecraft is great though. They're like Minecraft. Like,
yeah.
Have you played Minecraft?
No, I
Left
tried.
no.
I don't understand it.
Do a live stream. I want to see you play the first night. The first night is amazing.
Ryzak streamed it a while last year at some point when he was still doing some Sunday Minecraft. I jumped in. I had no clue what I was doing. I broke something, got yelled at, never played it again. So that was the end of that because I don't understand that game.
My nieces and nephews are getting a bit cocky now. They're getting a bit older. They've got access to my family library of like PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo,
Lord.
and all they ever talk about now is, why don't you actually have Minecraft, Fortnite, and Roblox on your library? And I have to explain to them, because I don't want that crap. And they look at it, go, it's not crap. And I go, all these brilliant games I'm giving you, and all you give me your 9, shaking your head at me, saying, why I ain't got Roblox. I go, I'm going to speak to your my brother, their father. I'm like, they're never getting Roblox, it's crap. So,
yeah.
I'm all...
Tell him you're lucky you even get those games. Keep it up, you won't get anything.
Yeah.
Say it's Frogger or nothing.
Yeah.
You're going to play Pac-Man.
Hey,
back in the good old days.
Back in the old days.
Keep it up, you'll be playing that Pong game.
Yeah, definitely. Sony has some news coming as well. The cloud gaming experience Sony will offer will be unique to PlayStation, Ryan said, and they have said that you'll be able to stream PlayStation 5 games on PlayStation 5. Xperia could be on launch, and Xbox Live Gaming launching in new markets. So great to see. Custom blades with multiple PS5 CPUs and GPUs on board.
Yeah.
Some of the industry's fastest NVMe storage used for game streaming. Also low latency. Yeah, the running on AWS. Interestingly enough, not Azure because they have it.
There were a lot of people on Twitter Dr. Spaceman actually shared that earlier today. And there were people on Twitter immediately jumping on the Google bandwagon again, as usual. See, they're going to be using Stadia Tech, and we had to shut that down almost immediately because that's not the case at all. Their service has always worked better, but it's a shift away from Microsoft's cloud stuff. And I know my thing was, I said, I'll finally be able to play PlayStation 5 games without owning a PS5, so I can shove that in JD's face. And then as I'm reading, I'm like, it doesn't mention it yet. But my guess is that they will update the PlayStation app, the PC app first, and then allow that stuff to work. I'm sure it'll start with the PlayStation 5, the console. It'll shift to the app.
I mean, if I can play PlayStation 5 games on my PS4 through streaming, I'm happy. That's all I want at this point.
I play PS4 games on my PC, so I'm still happy with that. When I can play PS5 games on my PC with not an emulator and it's through the PlayStation app itself, I will be happy with that. I think it's PS5, fantastic that they're getting the full Discord integration as well.
As somebody with a PS5, and I also have PlayStation Plus, thank God it's about time. I'm happy because I made an investment and I've been waiting for this, so I think this is great. I think this is really good.
It is great.
I was shaking my head. I was like, I don't want it on PlayStation 5. I want my PC app updated and I want it on my TV. Sony, come on. Bring the app over to me TV.
Excuse me, they got to take care of their consoles. They sold a crap load of consoles.
They will get there.
They got to take care of the consoles.
I will
first.
say that if you want to try the new update, you can sign up for the beta to test out the the PlayStation 5 7.0 update. It's scheduled for a March release, scheduled for March 8th, but you can sign up and sign up for the beta to test it out. So I know that will be there. I don't know with the Discord integration, but I know that I'm sure there'll be a lot of people that'll be enjoying that full integration because that's a big thing too.
Because that's also coming with the version 7.0 of the PS5 software Discord integration.
Yeah, as somebody who plays a PlayStation 5 and talks to people on Discord, it's annoying having one ear as a headphone to the game and the other ear.
And then, hold on.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody wants to do that.
Bad jokes.
Look, guys, you get your Discord app on your phone, slap your phone nearby you. That's how I usually talk if I'm playing, even Nintendo. Nope. When I'm playing Nintendo with my friends, I can talk to them.
I wonder nobody could hear you. No, I'm just kidding.
I know. Turn it up, right?
Discord is quickly becoming my morning routine, right along with coffee. So
Discord is on a roll.
I think Discord needs like a live feed or something to connect all the people who are on Discord. I think that's what it's kind of.
That sounds like Discord.
That sounds like Twitter.
They're getting
if only you could turn a video camera on and like.
No. I mean like a live feed of all the users in Discord.
Yeah, like a Twitter feed, but
feed. Gotcha. You don't have to be in the server.
Discord, that would be.
They've definitely been doing a good job with updating, the features that Discord has, like the live stream capabilities to live stream. So if I want to I'm not going to use the one of the gaming companies because I don't want to get anybody in this channel flag because I'm sure they're listening. Damn you, Nintendo! But I did with one of the events, the Sony event. I live streamed it in Discord because I didn't feel like setting everything up to go on YouTube and share it. But like Dr. Spaceman, I watched that one, but it comes in so clear. So it'll be interesting to see how that integration is done on the PlayStation 5 as well.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see, and hopefully it's not too far out. But guys,
with the PlayStation integration with Discord, would you still have to have the Nitro, or is it merged into the PlayStation Plus companion?
I don't know. They didn't really say much to it. So
Seems weird that we need Nitro
you
for
wouldn't
that.
need Nitro.
No.
You probably need a PlayStation Plus subscription though to access Discord and live stream it.
I like though that AMD is getting more and more involved in the cloud infrastructure side of things with multiple companies, not just the PC side, but now with the consoles, with PlayStation's using the AMD custom blades and things like that. So it's really interesting to see all of these. You've got NVIDIA's got custom blades for GFN. You got PlayStation using AMD custom blades. So it's interesting to see how everybody's kind of jumping. The CPU companies are jumping on board with all of this stuff, helping move forward that cloud.
Yeah. But guys,
cloud tech is dead. Cloud is dead. So that's what I was told on Twitter.
Right.
Well, it's got.
I actually told someone on a Discord chat today, guys, who else on here plays cloud? Because I mean, it can't just be me, right?
I play cloud.
It was in a Discord chat with people. I'm quite new to that Discord chat, but it's a local Swedish community, and I was like, guys, it can't only be me, right? Because I mean, I know 99% of you guys in here have the connection to play cloud. And they're like, no, no one.
I don't. I'm on
one guy was like, I've not tried. I tried Stadia for an hour when it launched just to try it. It worked fine, but then I didn't have anyone, didn't play more. And then how is it working for you? And we're like, oh, dude, it's working great. How can you not be on board?
Somebody asked me yesterday when I was streaming, why don't you have everything locally installed if you have the hardware to use it? And I said, because I'm lazy. I said, I don't like to download things. I don't like to update things.
Let me tell you something.
If I can play it and not have to have it installed.
My son played High on Life, and he streamed it to the Xbox. Had a hell of a time. He beat the game. It looked great. I mean, it wasn't good quality, but he played it. He had a great time. I think cloud is, like I said,
it's definitely it's not where it was 2 years ago. It has moved so fast. It's just like any other piece of technology. Every day it just gets better and better as time goes on.
Yeah,
and
it's
going to be the norm at some point.
Yeah,
it's.
If I get a lag, in a 2 hour session, I get maybe 1 or 2 lag spikes and 1 or 2 weird artifacting things, and that's just my home network is probably my 10-meter cable that's bent all kind of crazy ways. To get to where my computer is, that needs replacing, I'm guessing. But I mean, it's generally I can live with 5 seconds of trouble every 2 hours. That's perfectly fine. Because if I don't have to download anything, I don't have to buy any new hardware. Just play wherever I want, whenever I want it. That, the convenience of that always wins. It's interesting that more people haven't really given cloud a proper try.
Plus, I'm poor. I can't afford to be buying consoles all the time then buying the games. I got a 5-year-old that wants. I'm not 3 Apple devices and a laptop and a PC. I can't afford that stuff.
I mean, dude, I'm blessed because I if it's PC, if it's a game that I want, I'm gonna find a way to play it, and I just try and enjoy it. But I play me personally. 90% I play in the cloud. It's the weirdest thing, and I have a PC and I have these consoles, but I love playing it in the clouds because it's so convenient and so easy for me to just get in and play.
Yeah,
so. I agree. But guys, let's move on to the final story, which is probably going to take us 2 hours to talk about. If I know us right.
10 minutes, so I'm out. Just kidding. I'll be back for it. You got at least 2 hours to talk about this subject, so
yeah, exactly.
I'll be there.
So essentially, Ubisoft announced in a apparently quite somber earnings call, which was actually an emergency earnings call, announced that they have cancelled 3 unannounced games on top of the 4 they canceled last year, and they're also delaying Skull and Bones yet again, and it's been delayed to the next fiscal year, meaning it's being delayed from February something to I think it's April 1st to April 1st next year. So it could be it could be a 2-month delay.
April 1st? Did they really use that?
No, they said the next fiscal year, but that for Ubisoft the next fiscal year means But for Ubisoft the next fiscal year means April 1st through March last of the year after. So that's they moved it. It could just be 1 or 2 months pushed forward, or it could be a whole year. We don't know, but
it's not coming out.
No, we'll get more into that later. But let's welcome our final panelist, Rokk. The man himself is here.
Oh, there I am.
I thought he was going to be allowed to talk when his on-air light went on.
Yeah, exactly.
I was waiting for you to say you were going to talk. I was like, oh, that would have been epic.
That would have been epic.
On the corner of my eye, I just seen Vet disappear, then Rokk appear. I was like, what happened there? That was a good transition.
I know.
Just we moved right to the other side.
That multiverse I've been telling you guys about, man.
Yeah. How's it going, guys?
It's going, Rock.
Cheers.
So-
We're all
well,
here for the
yeah.
funeral. We're here for the Ubisoft funeral.
No, don't, guys, don't.
No,
Don't
I
go
think
there.
there's more going. I think there's more to this story than meets the eye.
It's a funeral.
But I mean, first of all, they also mentioned that Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope was underperforming, which is, I mean, I've only heard good things about that game. So unfortunately, seems to be not selling. People seem to love it, but they don't seem to buy it, which is unfortunate for Ubisoft. So obviously, we don't know which games have been cancelled, but it's 3 unannounced games. And considering the list of companies that are within Ubisoft, it's over 45 studios, over 20,000 employees working at Ubisoft. 4 games is probably not that many in the big scheme of things of what they have going on, but it's still sizable. And the stock price took a massive hit in the following hours afterwards.
I'm telling you.
So yeah.
Well, on the show earlier, there's a guy. There's a guy comes in on every day on Rock Around the Clock, K4 UK. He actually is a developer up at Massive, which is one of Ubisoft studios.
Yeah,
Right.
down Malmö, Sweden.
Yeah, he very often talks about what's going on, and he said in today's show, that's the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more canning and news to come on it. I don't think it's a funeral, but I do think there's something going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I think we're going to
Reshifting.
see some titles are going to set sail.
Well, we're seeing
To the great
all the
beyond.
companies at this time starting to restructure, reshift, and get ready for the coming stuff that's on the horizon. It worries
Goldman
me
Sachs,
what's coming, not for Ubisoft, but like for everyone. We're getting ready to take a nosedive into a recession. That
Massive
worries.
global recession. I
Yes,
talked about this
global.
earlier to one of my team when I went to a meeting, and I said, yeah, we in Britain, we've been in a recession for a little while now, but it ain't nothing compared to what's coming.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
here in the United States, we most know we are in a recession, but if you ask the federal government, we are not in a recession. Everything
No.
is fine.
this is fine. Fire around us, mean.
yes,
Yeah. But
Hope you like
I mean,
it warm.
Yeah, the CEO of Ubisoft
I would like it.
apparently in an internal email told everyone that the ball is in your court to deliver on time / on budget. Today, more than ever, I need your full energy and commitment to ensure that we get back on the path to success. Obviously, they are
You
not having a
guys
great
suck. You guys suck.
Um,
You better get on your job or you're fired.
I tell you what, that would scare me.
Yeah, that would
Get
be.
me to work a little harder.
I mean, I was already concerned the moment I heard them say.
He basically took a huge dump on 2022 because there's more to that email, but he basically said 2022 sucked, and I hate to say it, but as far as sales wise, they didn't do. I mean, I'm be honest. The Riders Republic, the roller skating game, the Rabbids game did not do massive. It did. It just. It's not bad games. It just didn't sell.
Well, some of these gambles may not have paid off either. Maybe they lost a bunch of revenue because they're giving people the games for $15 a whack and all the games for $15 rather than actually charging full price for each
Yeah,
one.
then again,
I mean,
some people like me who would never buy all the games on sale when they were like $5 each.
Well,
I'm now paying 15 a month.
It
and
takes
have
a while.
when I'm not playing.
It takes a
why
while for that revenue stream to become important.
But
you know what I mean?
This carries back to what I said earlier. Why all of a sudden you're seeing all their games are shifting to Steam now, because they're gonna shut. I watched them get rid of that subscription because I bet you they lost way too much money on that, and so they're gonna start transitioning the games that are still available, like not like the super old ones, but they may port everything over to Steam and just get rid of the subscription service. I bet you they lost too much money on that.
I think they need to be purchased.
No, I don't think that would help them much, to be honest.
Leave it just like that, right there.
They need
breaking.
They do. They need.
I love it.
Although, when you were zoomed out, it looked like you were just sitting with your arm on the couch. That one I was concerned about.
I can't get rid of the zoom in.
Like you would have zoomed in with a ding dong, like a doorbell.
Don't worry,
That would have
while
been
you fix that,
amazing.
I'll block you with a comment from Doragon here.
Hello? Is anyone there?
So there is a big fight at Doragon says there is a big fight at UB, fronted by a better Ubisoft union. Nearly every studio is rife with abusing crunch, fronted by the CEO Gilmont. Tencent are looking for control and have 49.9% ownership. I don't think they have that much. I think they have like 10 or 20%. So I don't think they have that much control, Tencent. But yeah, they do have a bunch. Like they do have a bunch of internal issues that they need to be working on. And I also know that they had, like in an interview in following the.
Bad door gun.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah,
He says they haven't released a good game
no,
since
no.
2017.
Totally.
I don't.
Yeah, no,
I
I
would
disagree with that.
Yeah.
I disagree.
But also,
I
like,
don't know.
if you're looking at,
I'm with Doragon. I mean, they had Siege. That was good of them. But like, what happened afterwards?
Far Cry.
I mean, Valhalla.
They had Valhalla. They had Far Cry.
Like I
Those
prefer
don't-
Odyssey over Valhalla,
Those
but Valhalla was a
don't
massive
push
success.
the
I
experience
was
of
one
the
of them
gamer
games.
in any way or form.
Well,
It may have sold a lot of copies.
Yeah, but look,
Valhalla, but
Hey, it's not about
for
quality.
the
When it comes
gamer.
to the CEOs and stuff, it's not about quality. How many did it sell?
yeah,
Really, look at Transformers in the movie theaters. As a matter of fact, those aren't good movies, but they sold a hell of a lot of tickets, so we got a bunch of them.
as a gamer
Uh,
though, the what I think Doragon is saying, they haven't released a good game. I mean, there's nothing that I
That
want to
is
play
to
from Ubisoft.
Doragon, though. That's to each his own, man. That's
I'm just
yeah,
saying
that's
I
what-
agree with that because there's no experiences that I want to go in. Everything is stale.
I
as a repeat.
had an awesome time playing Valhalla, and I think a lot of people enjoyed that game. A lot of people played that game, and also they also did DLCs. They did a lot of other things as well.
Yeah.
I'll agree. I'm not gonna push it out like 2017, 2018, 2019, 2021. Come on, man. Like really? Come on, seriously.
Yeah, and I mean, just gonna also mention, like, Doragon is correct that they Tencent acquired a 49.9% economic stake, but they only have 5% voting rights in the with those stakes. So Tencent basically owns half of Ubisoft economically, but they don't have any say, like barely any say at all in what's happening in the company. They don't have any voting rights. That's still within the Gilmore brothers. But just going back a little bit to Ubisoft, when they announced they had the big Assassin's Creed announcement at Ubisoft Forward, they did have there was an interview afterwards with one of the I think with Marc-Alexis Cote, the new head of Assassin's Creed, and he essentially said that Ubisoft have shifted the way they, at least on the Assassin's Creed teams, have shifted the way they work. Essentially, like previously, they would announce a game about 6 to 9 months before release, and then drop it on that date that they said. And there would be a bunch of crunch. Obviously, we know they have all, like during the Me Too movement, there was a massive issues over it that came to light over at Ubisoft. And I'm assuming they said they were going to work on that. For now we haven't heard a lot about that. That they are working on it, but maybe not as fast as people want. But they have mentioned that, like Cote mentioned that they are, like, they're done with crunch essentially. It's at least in the Assassin's Creed teams, and they're instead going to like basically they announce games. They've already announced them. They announced, like, we're now starting. What are you doing?
You see how moths are attracted to light. You see how you all suddenly started to look over here.
Yeah.
You see that? Bjorn stopped talking.
I thought,
What's
what the
going
hell?
on
What was
down
that scratching
just
noise?
fired.
This one also,
I thought it was a metaphor
what are
for
you doing?
Ubisoft.
and then also Valhalla.
Do you know what?
Launched,
Would it be
it
just
broke
funny
a
if
lot of records.
his fire system came on?
Yeah, it blew.
Hey, he had
Valhalla
gas.
broke a lot of
He had
sales
gas.
records,
That's
so
why he's lighting
I
a match.
don't know
Come
what-
on.
Clear in the
Thankfully,
room.
SPG said what everyone was thinking.
Yeah,
right.
thankfully. But yeah, I agree with you, Ray. Oh no, it's coming up to Ray's screen. He's getting gassed up.
Oh man, with that face, Ray, it looked like you tasted it.
That's his normal face. How rude.
I don't know what Oregon's talking about, because when Valhalla came out, and you go back, it stated, you can Google it, it broke a lot of sales records.
Yeah, it did. It's the most. I think it's sold more than like the entire both previous games combined.
I
That was
can
massive
see where
sales.
Dorgon's coming from with
yeah,
because it shifted. It was shifted from what the game originally was. When the style and everything. Play some of the older ones, and then play Odyssey, and you will see.
Yeah, and honestly, even if you.
So I get that.
I didn't like personally, no spoilers. I'm not giving away spoilers, but the important bits that are in the future, where it shows the other protagonist that's in the future area.
Yeah.
I didn't like how that played out at all. I liked where they were going with it, but I don't care about. I don't care
I'm still
about
holding.
at all.
Yeah, I kind of hope that with Mirage we're gonna get some more flesh to that to make it feel okay. But currently, as it stands now, I agree. I don't agree that I don't like where it ended up. But yeah.
But I haven't played through the last DLC that they released the game either. I haven't done that yet. So
I'm just saying that at the end of the day, you have investors and they all sit at a table. It's about money. It's about stocks, and they're losing a lot of money with the stuff that they're coming out.
Yeah.
And that's you want to know. You know why Skull and Bones ain't coming out?
Yeah,
because they can't take a massive hit, man, and
Bro,
they will now. If they had that come out right now, that company would go. It would take a massive hit.
It's a service game, and if people don't like the hook, no one's going to be playing it. How long is an active active service game or a live service game that requires active users every day? If there's 1,000 people that give a shit about the entire game, what are they going to do? It's a live service. It's going to die really quickly. I think that if they're going to dump it, they're going to pump and dump it like stocks and try to get done with it as soon as possible. But they also may be holding it back again to rework it again. Maybe they're trying to get away from the live service thing, make it a short single player and be done with it, because they have been in development hell for so long. And for them to have been working on it for so long and to almost release it and to have people still go, I don't like it. That's not a good sign for them.
Yeah, and I
know a lot of people did play it and like it, but the gameplay hook I don't think is there. And if they're working on that, good, but I don't know.
Yeah, and I think also, like, in the case of Skull and Bones, we do know, like, it's been like I think publicly announced at some point years ago now that they got massive tax incentives by the Singaporean government because they wanted to make Singapore a massive game development hub, and was figuring, like, if we Ubisoft Singapore, you can make something here within this studio, headed by people from Singapore, and have the game be set around the area. Then we can bring, like, it will be good for tourism and it will be good for the video game industry local here in Singapore. So they got a lot of, I think they not only got a lot of tax cuts and stuff, I think they even might have gotten a lot of funding from the government, and unless they release the game, they have to pay that back. I don't know if there's any clauses on, like, Metacritic score or if there is or something or things like that, or player counts or sales numbers, but like, it's cost them a lot of money, but also they have to release it at some point. If they're not releasing it now, it could be for the reason you mentioned. It could also be something completely different. But yeah, it's like it's apparently not ready yet. They're never gonna cancel Skull and Bones because they're not allowed to. Like, if they do, they're gonna have to pay back so much money and fines to the government of Singapore that it's not gonna be worth it. It's more worth it to just keep eating the cost of developing it for another couple of years.
The original idea came from that everybody wanted a multiplayer component to Black Flag, that ship mechanics, on the high seas, and they've actually changed it so much it doesn't represent that at all anymore. And I think
they started over twice.
No, I know. But what I think, though, they would have been better off just giving us a co-op or multiplayer experience with a pirate game that was in that era but had nothing to do with Assassin's Creed. I think they would have been better off doing that than attempting to do this big
Honestly,
live
like
service thing.
I think the making the division, and with the Dark Zone aspects, and taking that style of game, like they have the single player and co-op missions, and then you have the Dark Zone, but then doing a basically pirate skin with the ship to ship combat from AC, that would have been a hit, and I think they've probably tried that at some point, or maybe they haven't. Well, maybe they've tried all the other things at this point.
I think
I think
Ubisoft can't export game development talent. They tried to export game development over 9 years, and what they got back was not something that they wanted to release under their name. So I think it's going under some rework to make it that Ubisoft quality, because outsourcing for 9 years just didn't come out.
Yeah, but they haven't done any
ready
outsourcing.
to...
Everything is happening in-house.
No, I just mean outsourcing it across, not building it in-home.
Well,
I think Ubisoft has gotten too big. You said
Well, I
46 studios? That's
Yeah.
so many salaries. That's so many people. And I think we're going to see that wave where it starts to reduce, like all these other companies are coming today. And Ubisoft, in my best prediction, will not be 46 studios in the future. They're going to have to reduce.
They're going to go
come out with
cuts
Fortnite.
down, yeah.
I mean, that's what they got to do.
In my opinion, the game loop leaves a lot to be desired. Like, you have to use your imagination. That's never good to say that when you're playing a video game. You gotta use your imagination. Like when you go to loot and you go to take over a spot and go collect your ill-gotten gains. All that happens off screen. Your men are doing that stuff while you're just holding the port and trying to stay alive in the port. And then, hey, Captain, we got all the goods. All right, we're sailing off. We're gonna go turn it in. The only part about the game that is super interesting and I think would be fantastic is to sail with your friends and to have unlimited possibilities of what your ships look like and the type of weapons that may be on that ship. That is an interesting thing, but the actual fighting mechanic and loop looks, I don't know, it doesn't look really fun to me. It just doesn't. I didn't get to try it though. Rokk, you got to try it, right?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, you said you had a great time with it.
I genuinely loved it, and I mean, I must have played the, I don't know, 3 betas, 2 betas, whatever it was, and I thought it was great. And by the way, if you're wondering why I'm staring at you, it's because I'm using that new NVIDIA broadcast.
Oh, you are?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's actually got my
nicely.
eyes. Yeah, so I can look away, and my eyes do flicker for a second, but they come straight back, and I'm actually looking at the screen next to me now.
Nice.
And you can see
I
that
could not have that.
Yeah,
That's awesome, man.
that's pretty cool,
Damn.
isn't it?
Yeah, that's impressive.
It's just gone live, so I've installed it while we were talking, and it's been working quite well.
Jealous, I can't run that on my computer.
Yeah, well, I mean, particularly when you're doing when we're doing a solo,
Yeah.
like we all do a solo show, and we're looking at chat or something. We can have a quick look at the chat, and then, but we're looking down the camera, so we're maintaining the whole personal.
What'll be weird though, Rokk, is when we're actually game streaming and it looks like we're looking right at you while we're gaming. That's gonna be tricky.
Rokk turns his head round, so the back of his head's got
Yeah,
eyes.
it's like an owl.
Put a shade back there.
It's going to be really weird watching that Pornhub stuff and everybody's staring at you.
You got to get those augmented reality glasses. You'll be all right.
Yes. Yeah, you put glasses on, they'll disappear. You see how it moves the eyes quickly back in?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool, man.
Yeah, it's good,
that's
isn't it?
cool.
That is cool.
Yeah,
I loved it. Sorry, I thought it was a great game. I mean, obviously, only played the first few minutes because we only had a couple of hours to trial it, and they did a weird thing. They set the time up, I think, to Pacific time. So by the time I got to play it, it was almost the close of the beta. So it had sort of launched overnight,
Weird.
Pacific time. Yeah. But anyway, I enjoyed it. Ray, you had to play with it as well, didn't you?
No, I actually played other games that they
Did you?
canceled.
Oh, you're joking, really?
That they canceled.
Did
So-
you
Wait a
enjoy the
minute.
ones they
That wasn't. They didn't cancel Heartlands, did they?
no, it's unannounced
No.
games. That's,
It's
okay.
But honestly, guys, with the route that they're going and the stocks, if you're looking at, I don't think they can really. I think they might have to scrap some of these games and start over. I mean, come on, man! Look how long it's taking for Skull and Bones to come out, and now we got to wait till 24.
Yeah, they might as well scrap that.
Might
man.
not be
They
24.
really-
Might be like it might be later this year because it's the next fiscal year. And fiscal years for Ubisoft is like
That depends on the
Q2 to Q2.
recession that is coming, not just in the United States,
Global.
but
Yeah, it's
global.
pretty
global.
Yeah.
Something is coming. You can tell because
All
out
the
here
companies are bracing.
they're I have friends that are out here. They're losing their jobs. I know people that I'm talking to right now are out looking for jobs. They're losing their jobs, and these companies. I mean, it's sad. It's really sad.
Yeah. And also, I mean, I was looking through a list of like what Ubisoft actually released last year. They did not release a lot of games last year. The release list from last year is honestly the weakest one I've seen from Ubisoft in years. And I think this is in large part because because as they mentioned during back in October, that they are refocusing how they make their games in the first place. Like not only how they work to like we're gonna announce it when we start working on it, we're gonna release it when it's ready, which is all great stuff for like crunch aspects. But it's also they also mentioned they are going to make like instead of trying to make a game that tries to do everything, but it's like jack of all trades, master of none, which is what they've been doing more and more of in the last couple of years. They're now pivoting back to we have an audience who wants this style of game, like a multiplayer Far Cry game or a co-op Assassin's Creed or a like old school Assassin's Creed or the new RPG of Assassin's Creed, and they're making games specifically for each audience instead, which is, in my opinion, the correct way to go forward for Ubisoft. But they need to pivot to that, and for that change to work, they need to basically reorganize the entire company with all these 46 studios and 20,000 people who work there. And I think that's where they are hitting the most of their struggles.
Do you know if
they
have any?
Seeing that with.
Do you know if they have any roadmaps left? Are they currently working on any titles that are already out, or is this going forward all for the stuff that is on the horizon? I know that Breakpoint is done.
No, I think they announced this around around the Ubisoft Forward that announced the new Assassin's Creed titles, and it was mentioned in the context of those Assassin's Creed, but at the same time they also hinted at this being like they never said this is the way we the new way of working for Assassin's Creed. They mentioned this new way of working for Ubisoft. So I think this is a all over change all over, and I think this might like a lot of games in I think any game in early development is probably going to be affected by this. Any game in late development, like Skull and Bones, like the games we've seen released during these years, X-Defiant, the games we've seen released over this year, is probably not going to see the benefit of this. I think Mirage is a weird one because Mirage was a DLC initially that then became
that makes sense because that's the size of it. It looks like a DLC.
And it's a DLC. It was initially a DLC that became a bit too big to be a DLC. Like it was supposed to be like a anniversary thing for the franchise. It's built on the Valhalla engine, on the Valhalla, like the same version that Valhalla is. So it's essentially Valhalla with another coat of paint. But then they try to make a game for the old school audience. And I mean, I'm also assuming that if it doesn't go down well, that if people realize the old school Assassin's Creed wasn't as good as they thought it was, which is it might be, it might not be, we don't know yet. We'll notice. But if that is the case, which is very much possible, then I'm assuming they will take a completely different, that might change the way they design Hexy, for example. We know that people like the new RPGs, there's a massive audience for the new RPG Assassin's Creed with Odyssey and Valhalla and Origins. Project Red, the Japan one, is going to be one of those. It's being made by the studio that made Odyssey, which is arguably the most liked of the ones in hindsight. I think back when it released, everyone was like, "This sucks." But I think when looking back at it, people have been thinking it's actually better than they maybe initially thought. So I think I think we're going to see if the big problem might for Ubisoft, I think, is going to be how they get there. They need to survive not only 2022, which was a bad year, but 2023, which is probably going to be an even worse year for them. Let's be honest.
So Ubisoft is actually watching the show right now, and they just said that Ubisoft has announced that they are going to have a new video showing Skull and Bones gameplay dropping tomorrow.
Yeah, that's gonna be a nice watch.
Yeah,
it's a drop in the ocean. I mean, why release it now when they're not bringing the game out for another year?
I think it might be one of those like, hey, look, we've changed a lot of things around. We need some more time working on this. Like, I still think we might, like, unless they do push it, they know another push. Like, I think this push is not going to be until 2024. I think we're still going to see it this year.
Do you know how many E3s that game has been at?
Yeah.
I would not put money down.
Or has been like has happened since it was announced.
Unless they're going to drop a demo after the showcase and then sort of get some feedback.
It'll be interesting to see if there's any major changes.
Yes.
To what we've seen previously.
And I think there will be. Changes. Otherwise, they wouldn't push it.
I put it in our chat. What I just got Ubisoft for the show tomorrow. Awesome. The video show.
I was gonna say I'm gonna bring it up on the screen, but no, that didn't work last time I did. So
it's not a video. It's just They just sent the tweet. They just sent the tweet out.
Yeah. But yeah, I think like Skull and Bones is one of those. I don't think really we can count Skull and Bones as the like it's not really. It doesn't really count. The Skull and Bones in a lot of ways.
I don't know. Sounds like a transformer getting ready to blow up.
Somebody turned the suck on.
That's right. Somebody did.
It ain't me.
Somebody turned the suck on.
Nope.
There we go. That's a good one.
Wow. I took my headphones off just in case it was me. Like, what the hell was that noise?
That's bizarre, isn't it?
Not here.
Do you think it's is it Vet? Because he's off completely. He's muted now, isn't he?
Yeah.
What's Vet doing off stage?
We'll never.
No,
know.
It is Vet. It's from Vet. It's not.
Is it?
It's not. Yeah.
Oh,
so this sound we were talking about, it's not showing up for you guys watching. This is just on our end. It's in the. No, it's not Vet. Hang on.
No, I don't think it.
I still heard it. No. Yeah. Super weird noise. Yeah, like I think like Skull and Bones is one of those, like it doesn't really count because it's because they have to release it. I think that's I think it might be like it's like it's a weird one. But I think going forward, I think Ubisoft will be I think they need to get through this year. And I think that's gonna be hard for them. Because I mean, looking at what they have coming this year. Pandora, Avatar, is Ray, you're muted. I see you talking. But...
I just said I agree with Doragon. I do not think Skull and Bones is coming out this year. I agree with him with that.
Yeah, I still
been to too many E3s for me to say, hey, it's coming. I don't know.
I don't think it's been delayed due to any development at all. I think it's a strategic decision.
Yeah, because you were saying,
Rokk, we'll get it after summer.
It felt pretty complete, didn't it?
I at no point did I feel I was playing a beta or a game that wasn't ready for release. At no point. It kind of, to me, felt like it was ready. And I played one beta, and then I played another beta, and then I played another one about a month later, and I couldn't see any difference. It was just as much fun, and it felt very similar. It was definitely not a game where I thought, this still needs a lot of work.
Right. Well, I made the decision back when I was still on Stadia. I had pre-ordered it, and then I saw the gameplay loop, and I was like, oh, I got a little worried. I did stop the pre-order, but I was going to sign up for Ubisoft Plus for a month to play it. And if I liked it, cancel the sub and buy the game is what I planned on doing.
Yeah.
I just didn't get the chance.
That's a shame. It's a real shame. And there's something else going on. And as I said, the guy in the chat, basically, who works at Massive, he said, like, I can't say, but yeah, there's a lot more news to come. And he didn't mean positive either. He wasn't pointing to happy news.
It's gonna be a hell of a year for them, I think.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, because it's going to be
That
Good for
sucks.
them.
I was going to put my rose-colored glasses on and say, "Hey, they're getting ready to debut something massive," but maybe not. Maybe it's the other way. They're
I
pulling
do
back.
wonder. I mean, we've spoken in the past about how important it is if you're going to do a service like, and let's face it, they threw everything at Ubisoft Plus, and it kind of feels to me maybe it didn't perform as well as they'd hoped. Maybe they didn't sell as well as they'd hoped. But in order to keep subscriptions going, they've got to keep providing content.
Yeah.
And that, I think, was the Achilles heel, because it literally meant at all times there needed to be somebody working on a DLC or a new game or, some event going down. And I think they just ran out of steam, and they realized they couldn't develop any large IPs if half the team were working on little poxy DLCs to
Yeah,
keep
and I
people
think
That's
also,
why I
like-
asked about their
But they
about
do
their
have the
slate.
studios
Are they
to-
done? Are they done
Yeah.
with most of their titles right
But
now?
I think
That's why
they do, at the same time they do have the studios, but they have the capability to do that. They have
Well, they've about
4 to
3,000
5
staff, don't they?
No, they have 20,000 staff. And
20,000.
and
Wow.
45 studios. They have everything they need to pull that off.
But that's
What they
not all
don't
developers.
have-
That's their entire team. I mean, that's marketing.
Yeah,
that's
it is
admin.
it is the entire team. But I mean, it's
Rosemary,
probably,
the
probably
tea
half of
lady.
that is
Could be.
making. I'm guessing at least half of that is actually making games. But I mean,
Yeah.
some of these studios are like massive entertainment, which is something like,
Massive.
if I remember correctly, they are massive. They're like 1,500 people or something like that. Others is like it's something like Colibri Games in Germany. They have 130 employees as of May 2021.
Wow.
So like it's anything from really small studios to big studios. I think they are, but they are. That's what sort of frustrates me with them, because they have everything they need to pull this sort of thing off. But I think the big struggle for them is probably, like, I think they have. I mean, they announced and released Ubisoft Plus just in a way, like, what was it, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Which is like 1 year before the like the year before the Me Too
Just
movement, which shake the whole company up, and then another 2 years,
That's
and
back
then the
when
pandemic hit.
that was back with Breakpoint, when they were discussing that
Yeah.
Breakpoint didn't do well. Like the tech they had out there in the battlefield wasn't working, and they had to revamp stuff. And then they brought us our companions from like Wildlands into the game, and I think they did amazing with turning that game around.
And like they have the skills to make great games, and they have the tool, the personnel to do it as well. So I think it comes down to like the like really bad timing for them to release Ubisoft. I think if they release Ubisoft Plus in 2 years from now, I think they would be.
Yeah, but Bjorn, you
really
remember
developers.
when they were developing Valhalla, and they said that they had like nearly all their studios working on it.
Yeah.
I knew.
Yeah, and that's also
I
one
know
of the things
10,000 devs sounds a lot, but actually, if you've got 10 IP, substantial IP on the case, they're gone in no time, and then there's
and I think
nobody
that's
left to
part
do
of
the
part
small
of it as
stuff.
well. I think they are. Because I think they are going like with the because they have said in the I think it was they said in the earnings call that they are doing internal restructuring of how they work, and I think part of that is instead of having I think if you look at like the intro screen of Far Cry 6, like the first few like 5 minutes after that initial cutscene, the tutorial sequence, you essentially get like this developed by this studio, and this studio, and this. It's like 15 studios. With anything with around like 1,000 people in each doing working on this, and like if all of these 50, like they could have all of these 15 studios making a slightly smaller like an Assassin's Creed Mirage, that's size game, smaller than Valhalla, but still sizable enough to warrant a like $50 sales price. And if they have 10 of those games dropping out with like each aimed at a specific target audience, which is from what I'm hearing, that is what they're trying to do going forward. But they have to pivot into that, and that is a massive undertaking, and they have to survive doing that. And I think having the pandemic before this, and having to switch to work from home and like changing things up, and just before that they have the internal and public Me Too crisis.
Internal medical. Was it? Sort of, finger?
Yeah, that was part of the problem.
Somebody's prostate got checked.
Yeah, a few people too many, and not by the right people. I think that sort of like destroyed it for them. I think that's what set them up for these two or three horrible years that has been. Like
it's
2021
probably
was a good year for them. 2022.
But don't forget that. I mean, Ant raised it earlier. They've got Scalar, which it by and large is meant to be a cloud-based development tool, so they can kind of offload a lot of this stuff.
And I mean, what's the name of they have this incredible R&D team in what's it called? Ubisoft
R&D.
Yeah, they have a Ubisoft Forge.
Right.
Ubisoft Forge. So Ubisoft Forge is essentially they are doing things like they showed off a demo. I think it was 1.5 years ago of essentially they put machine learning on a player agent, so to speak. Basically, let machine learning agents learn how to traverse the hyperscape map, and like go from this point to this point, and then we get there, you get a new target, and then they moved around, and they used that machine learning algorithm to basically play test and improve the pathfinding and you can't stand on this ledge, or actually you can stand on this ledge, you shouldn't be able to because it's like slightly and I mean that was just there was no trade. It was just basically these are your this is your inputs to algorithm. You this is how you move, this is how you jump. The fact that it could double jump was something that it taught itself. I mean that's something they still put in games.
I still think a lot of the work that was happening at Stadia has been absorbed into Ubisoft. I still think that's the case, and I think we're going to see more. A lot of that. Do you remember those early demos we saw? Amazing on-the-fly changes to graphics and all sorts of stuff. And I can't believe that Google just killed that off. And they were so close to Ubisoft. I mean, right from the get-go. And all of a sudden we learn about Scalar and we learn about this other cloud stuff they're working on, and this amazing.
I've been trying to get to talk myself into getting to go and check out Scalar, but they have said no several times. It's been developed just in my backyard.
Is it really?
It's been developed here in Stockholm, so I mean, if I can just find a way to get into that office, I can get my hands on it.
Yeah, you need to get a black mask and some suction things.
Yeah, I was thinking I'd drop by with some fika and
Swarfiga.
Like some cinnamon buns or something for them, and then
do you remember Swarfiga? I haven't seen that stuff in years. Do you remember that? Do you remember it, Ray? It was like industrial lube.
It tasted great. I remember that.
I just imagine Bjorn being like a little Red Riding Hood with his cape and some freaking buns.
Yeah, Tom Cruise with a beard.
I mean, if that doesn't work, I've seen there's this amazing guy on YouTube called Max Fosh who does amazing small weird videos. But one of his things that he has learned and shared in his video is if you want to get into somewhere, just put on one of these yellow construction jackets and just pretend you're going to fix something. 9 out of 10 times people are just going to let you go straight through.
Ant's been bringing the news today. Look at this on the 19th cloud update for PlayStation.
Yeah, we did talk about that. I didn't see a date, and the 19th. That's a good timing.
I didn't see a date either. I think he's
good timing.
He's speculating a little bit.
Is he? I know there are other platforms that are launching on the 19th updates to their service, but I can't say who.
Although the date for this Skull and Bones being pushed, I mean, do we really think it's going to launch on April 1st, or is that just a joke? I mean, we're going to get another
It's being launched into the next fiscal year, which starts on April 1st and then ends on the day before the next year. So it's Ubisoft counts years not from January to December like the rest of us. They count from April to March.
They start their year off on a joke.
Yeah.
It's the global start of everybody's accounting year. What do you do?
The same thing. I start my day on a joke. I wake up and realize
you pull back the sheet, laugh, and then get out of bed.
Yeah.
Oh,
Where
dear.
where did Anthony find out about the 19th? Because
No,
all
No,
of
I
his
think he's
articles-
just.
he's making it up.
I think he's
I think he's just making.
well,
that
that's
up.
I mean
Pulling
that's
your
basically
nose,
his
but-
entire channel. It's just make believe.
Ooh.
So do you guys think that this will be the final delay for Skull and Bones, or will it be
No.
delayed
No.
one more
It-
time?
It will be delayed until they kill it off completely.
They will never kill it.
I
it's
think
too
your
expensive. They
guess
can't
is
kill it.
as good as mine. That's
They
what I'll
can't kill
say.
it now.
Well,
They can't kill it, period.
They can.
They've signed a.
They
I mean,
just
they
had the
can, but they will pay.
opportunity.
No, like they can,
Oh,
but if
10
they kill
cent,
it,
isn't it?
no, it's the Singaporean government.
Singapore, that was it. Yes.
They have to pay
we're not gonna
fines
ever
on like
see this game.
hundreds of millions if they cancel it.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's
Well,
the
they
point
helped
there.
build that studio off of those kickbacks.
Yeah.
They'll get
Yeah.
fined. I
Like, you kinda
understand the
have to,
fine, but how much money have they already sunk into the game or this non-existent game already?
I don't know. I don't know what.
They
Couple
never
of
said-
couple of doubloons and a loot chest.
All they said is that the game has to come out.
But
You know,
that's what
they
I'm
can
getting
work
at.
on it forever. I mean, I guess
But
that's
that's what
enough.
Yeah, it's got to happen. I just put it out there now.
By
If
the
it,
time it comes out, no one's going to care about it. Though.
Skull and
But my
Bones
thing is,
decomposing
they've
edition.
already, depending on how much they've already, look at how much they've already sunk into it. Does it really matter if they take a loss for a fine because they have to scrap it?
Well,
And when-
David,
if they
let me
release it, it's
correct
not
something
gonna,
here.
no one's going to play that garbage.
None of us are
it's
saying-
beyond.
David, none of
salvage.
us are saying that the game was delayed because of issues with the
No, I
game
don't think there were
itself,
any.
bugs or anything
No.
like that. Rock was saying it felt like a ready to go, ready
Yep.
to ship item, a finished product.
Yeah.
So
I saw no reason when I played it twice as a beta. I saw no reason. I saw no issues, and I saw no reason why it shouldn't go live.
Ray,
Who's
you're
Ray
muted.
talking to?
Ray,
Hey,
you're
who's Ray
muted.
see if it. Oh, he's a mine. It's,
Yeah, I sent
Rock,
him a message.
Rock. Hold up.
Yes,
But
Ray.
when they showed videos of this game, people like SPG and a lot of people in the community, they want a game closer to Black Flag.
No, Ray.
That's what
Or
But
Black-
listen,
no.
though, that's not the game they're giving us. That's not the game they made.
I know,
The game they
and
made
a lot
is
of
done.
people.
But here's the thing: are they going to pull it and not release it because we want sword fighting and they're going to put it in the game?
Yeah.
Hell no, that's not happening.
I don't
buy
think that's
that.
the issue. Yeah,
I don't either.
think that's the issue. I
They-
don't
they
think there were
can't-
issues with it. I don't think they particularly care. I think Bjorn's closer to the point. You know that this. I think it's contractual. I think there's some issues. Maybe the Singaporean government keep telling them it's not got enough Singapore going on.
Yeah, I just
Go
don't
back
think
and
they
put
took
more
our-
in there.
I don't
They
think
just
they
want
took
more-
our
hey, look,
feedback and went, yeah,
they
you
just
should be
want-
able to get on
No,
land
they
and kill somebody with
They
your
just
sword.
want
I don't
more
think so.
singing pirates. That's all it is. There's
Singing
not enough
pirates.
singing. in it.
Singing.
I'd play
pirates.
that.
Damn it, let me tell you this.
Sea shanties.
Somebody needs to
There
get
you go.
somebody
Yeah.
needs to get Singapore Kane because this is ridiculous to keep pushing this game back and back and back. You got
I think
people
it's
that have
Singapore.
pre-orders. You have people that
It's
bought special
Singapore.
editions,
What it is.
and they keep pushing this back. This is ridiculous.
Hey, the only way they pull the pole out, Ray, is if you spray paint a car.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know better.
SCG,
There
I
was a
really
young
thought you were
man
going
from
somewhere else
America who
with
went to
that.
Singapore and he spray painted a car and he got cane pulled,
No
Yes,
way.
which is
Yes.
a corporal punishment where they whip you
Wow.
with a cane. Yeah.
You spit some gum
Candy
on a
cane.
you spit some
no.
gum on a Singapore sidewalk, you will get cane. They
Yeah,
cane
yeah.
your butt.
I honestly
If you
thought
go,
you-
hey,
SCG,
Rock,
I
actually,
thought you
when
were
we're
going-
done here, go watch it. Go watch something about it. It'll actually
I-
blow your mind.
Ray, what are you doing? That didn't look
Oh.
appropriate for this straight.
This thing I was showing you the Singapore cane.
Have you noticed
You know
how
what? Hey,
everything's
you on
generally
your own
dropped
time
since
is-
Vec came
is
back?
For you. I don't
I would have left them in the
No,
back
look, I
waving. I'm
sent you a
just
link.
saying. I would have left them waving.
you see what happens. You invite me back. Your serious conversation.
No,
Right
mate.
after.
I've been waiting for you to come back. It's been getting boring listening to the Bjorn about Singapore and stuff. I've been wanting
I
some
dropped you a link,
chuckles.
by the way, regarding that. Speaking of
I'm
Singapore,
glad that I'm the entertainment value of this.
It's you are. You know what? You're the guy they used to pay a penny to go and see in Bedlam.
ooh, that's a
I
low
thought
blow,
you were
man.
gonna say- Oh, I heard something different through my headset. I need a new one. I'm not even gonna say it out loud.
Oh dear.
Dude,
So-
even Just Dance couldn't even save them, man.
Well,
That
no,
didn't even
that's
sell
because
good.
that game just danced right off the charts.
Yeah, my
Yeah, it
daughter was
underperformed
playing it tonight.
massively.
Funny enough.
But it's one of those, like, if you have the last year's model, do you really need this year's model? Previously, people cared, but these days, people don't really care anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Now that
So
looks
this is
incredible. I want to play that.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me tilt my head. Okay, now it looks better. Now,
So what's this article? This is Kotaku.
so yeah, this is the article that some
About Singapore.
Kotaku every now and then has someone do it, like some actual digging or
Yeah.
proper.
oh, you mean they're
journalism.
legitimate every once in a while?
Yeah,
Wow.
and this is one of those
That's
times.
good.
They were like they were doing some real digging, and like this is a report where they mentioned that there was like contractual obligations with the government and stuff.
Look
But
at how
like,
long back the first remnants of Black Flag started. 2013.
What year is this? What year are
Some
we
of
in?
you have children older
This
than
was
this
post
game already.
July 2021.
Damn.
Oh, so
So
they
yeah,
started working on this 10 years ago. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
As a
bro.
multiplayer
that's-
expansion, like it was supposed to be multiplayer
Yeah.
expansion to Black Flag, as
oh,
an
so
like
it-
DLC.
I'm sure it'll. What's
And
another?
then-
I mean, if they've been working on it for 10 years, what's another year or 5 or 10 more years? You know.
Yeah, and like I think
Yes,
so.
Wilson.
About
It's
2
like
years
the
ago,
third
someone
E-
said,
It's the third E3 that they've
Yeah.
demonstrated it and showed it off and said, "Look, it's coming," to try to get you excited.
yeah, and I think like I mean, obviously this article is 2 years old at this point almost.
Wait,
Or
did they
not
really
really.
make a pun about the U.S. banks?
It's
yeah,
too
they
big
did.
to fail.
Yeah, it's
Come
too big
on.
to fail. Like a lot of this stuff still doesn't make sense. Just
like the
polishing at
banks
this
in
point
the
would be a waste
US,
of time.
that's
Someone
stupid.
said,
Hmm.
and that was like 2 years ago.
I think they said something similar about the Titanic, didn't they? Like, hey, even God couldn't sink this ship. Joke's on you.
Someone said, "I've gone to all the bars. I can't find any ice for my G&T," and that was the last thing he ever said. Poor bugger.
Yeah, so it's apparently been rebooted internally almost every year for the first like 6 or 7 years they worked on it. They've had too many managers vying for power. There's never been had a clear creative vision behind it in the past. So and then what they did announce, like I think last time they showed it off, they did announce like, yeah, so we have fixed all those issues now. We now have a clear vision. And then maybe and since then people have actually gotten to try it out like you have, Rokk.
I take offense to that, Anthony. I feel like I bring the value up.
Yeah, absolutely. You're worth twice what you paid.
Wait, I'm
Which
supposed
is
to be
nothing.
Hey,
paid?
wait a minute. I just did the math.
I haven't gotten anything.
Exactly that. So it was supposed to come out again in
Yeah.
Feb a year ago. Wow.
Yeah. But
I love that nobody believed that. Even the
Yeah.
employees don't believe when they're
Yeah.
going to announce the game's coming. That game is
And
coming
then-
out.
A bit further down, they have you have this quote from this article. But three sources also told Kotaku that a deal with the Singaporean government requires it to be released. In addition to hiring a certain number of people at the Singapore studio in exchange for generous subsidies, Ubisoft Singapore must also launch an original brand new IP in the next few years.
Can we just refer to these guys as Cold Taco from now on?
Cold
It's
Taco.
easier to say. It's just easier to
Cold
say.
Taco.
Oh my
I don't-
god!
Very good.
Oh, is it? It's only 6 official delays. I thought it was 7.
Yep. No, 6 so far.
Oh, I lost track.
Look at this third creative director. Wow.
I think one more, they get a set of steak knives.
I mean, the more
Yeah.
you read into this, the more you realize that this game is never going to come out. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, but also
Well,
like
there is
those
what Rokk
subsidies
is
that they
saying, there
got,
is a
they need
product
to
that's available.
Yeah, and like
It could be sold.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
and
so that
I
article
think
says that you
it
could
comes
originally
down to
play
this
as
point.
a pirate, and then they transformed it to now where you're
I mean,
as a
if
ship.
they're not changing it to make the actual players happy, just release it and rip the Band-Aid off already.
Well, that's how I feel. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Just do it. Get it out of the
So,
way.
Yeah.
It lives, it dies, it wins, it fails, and then
Well,
move on.
What if you go? What if they're? So if let's say Ubisoft was bought out, by somebody else, doesn't matter who it is,
That's possible.
then they could theoretically just go ahead and scrap this waste of money that has been happening.
But then if they bought the company, they're grandfathered into those contracts, so they would have to pay out.
Yeah,
for not
but
releasing the game.
mean, let's be real. If it was somebody like, let's say, Microsoft, do they even care? They'll
maybe not.
Yeah,
maybe not.
They're not going to care. They obviously clearly don't care how much money they spend.
The problem is that it's a French company. That's where it's headquartered. That's where
I'm not going to make any comments.
It logs its taxes, and the French government doesn't allow the sale of companies of this scale. It just doesn't happen. Not unless
delay it. This will just be an inevitable delayed game. It will never see the light of day. And the easiest way around the loophole is just to delay the game and just keep delaying.
To me, that seems like a huge own goal and an embarrassment. And they're saying we're bringing out, Ray just said, they're bringing out new videos to show gameplay. I mean, if you want it to die, you just don't mention it. You just
doing
shut
this
up.
Kind of shit, letting this die on the vine is hurting investor.
Obviously doesn't understand that concept. Then the problem
shareholders'
is somebody else.
confidence in the company. It makes them shakier, and they don't like that. So
I think this is a bad
just
time
rip
to show
the
a
Band-Aid
video.
off.
I think this is a bad time to show a video. If you delayed it and you're showing a video.
Oh, you mean
they're showing a video of this? I thought they were showing a video of Starfield.
No,
that's a different studio.
No,
that's
showing
Microsoft.
Would it be
tomorrow? They're showing Skull and Bones tomorrow.
Maybe it's just like an ongoing joke for them.
That's not ripping a Band-Aid off. It's not like when Google announced that they killed Stadia and then announced shortly afterwards that they were doing cloud stuff with laptops. It's not the same thing.
Hey. They told us we were getting refunds before they did that.
I think they're trying to show it off now so that when they because they need to do something tomorrow. I think the only thing they have ready in the bag is showing the game off.
But
is
the
they can't have
footage, or is it just a video? If it's just a video and it's not actual gameplay, it means absolutely nothing.
Oh no,
I think it will be like a
gameplay.
developer commentary game.
Gameplay looked crappy as hell at the time. At the time, it wasn't the greatest.
Yeah,
gameplay
but I think
saw.
Rokk had it down to T before when he said that it's not in their best interest to release it now, so they're pushing it forward to maybe after summer, and then fixing those last few bugs just because they can, and then just because at this point they want to get rid of this, they want this out the door so they can focus on the new stuff they want to make, and I think this is gonna probably, and they probably studied this several times already to see where did we go wrong and how can we avoid that in the future.
Well, they said that six times to themselves, and they ended up in the same place.
I will admit it. I'll admit I was wrong when I see this game see the light of day. But until then, I'm going to stick with the fact that you will not see this game get released. I don't care how many videos they can show. If they're just going to keep, it's just going to be an inevitable recycling of let's push it back.
Now, here's a different question. Here's a very different question. Because it's a game as a service, do you believe that it could release free? And they add more cosmetics, more ship variations, and that's what it's about. And they gain the revenue from the game by selling that stuff.
Well, that's what that quote from the last article you were sharing was. He was saying that free is the way to go. And that may be the reason why they pulled everything.
But then again, that was what they
pre-orders.
thought. That was what Ubisoft thought at the time, and since then they've pivoted and seeing
we get the release date tomorrow. We get the release date tomorrow.
Probably.
Good luck on that.
In addition, additional information regarding our new release date and upcoming
December 31st
will be shared with you all
very soon.
So be sure to.
You know how generic that statement is. Come on now, Ray.
Yeah,
dude,
you're
that's the most generic statement I've ever.
We have nothing to share with you at this time.
Get excited for the excitement we're about to garner with you. You're like, what?
Thank you for your support. Stay tuned for more information as we try to come up with something.
Well, come on, now, they're gonna be giving regular updates to the fans about the game status.
Yes, it'll come out fourth quarter 2024. which then it will change to fourth quarter 2025, and eventually it will be a forgotten game.
I'm pretty sure they got X marks a spot on some
A
character.
A French strike team.
Strike
That must
team.
have been an interesting assembly of people.
Coming from Montreal. Coming
Dun,
from
dun.
London. Coming from LA.
Game developer Devin.
Coming
Strike
from
team.
Pornhub.
Strike team. Ubisoft.
They're selling it here, $70. They know something we don't.
Oh, where to buy it?
They do know something we don't.
That's
know
a
what?
place. That's the place if I've ever seen one.
They
That's
will
the
send you a
PS5
blank
version.
disc.
What,
They
how
send
would
you. They send you a
only-
box with a small mouse skull and a couple of chicken bones.
Here you go.
It wasn't false advertising.
It'd be
I'll
old
tell you
Vet's
that.
old Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Finger looking good.
Oh, here's the video. Look, got it ahead of time.
Or make it Singapore chicken just to make sure you actually factor in Singapore's
Watch
point
that
of
be
view.
the same video they show tomorrow.
It is not, is it? It's the one previous
that
one.
is,
Oh, there'll
yeah,
be
that's
parts
I
of
know,
it
but-
reshown.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure.
Now they'll add another minute to it. So that one's a minute and 10. They'll make it 2 minutes.
I found.
I got no faith in this game whatsoever that it's going to see the light of day. But I mean, if it shows up, great. I'm
What do you?
not going to buy it.
But what do you think this? Do you think this is endemic of what's going on at Ubisoft? Full stop, or do you think this is a separate case completely? And
No,
shouldn't
I think
be-
this all ties together.
Hmm.
I think this all ties together. I mean, it's clear when you don't utilize the word, like I said, when they had an emergency meeting, you don't utilize that word.
I don't
With
think it's
investors,
tied together at all. This
emergency
has been in
meeting and
development hell
investors
10 years.
Well, the thing is, emergency meeting and investors aren't supposed to be together. You don't want to see that together. Investors don't even like hearing that word. Emergency. We need an emergency.
Yeah,
investment.
strike
but at the same time, I think they
That-
I
want the
think
investors
the
to know
emergency was the
the-
year they had was really bad, and looking forward ain't looking good. So they're prepping to shelter from the storm. That's what I think.
You
Yeah.
can only
Yeah, and
eat so
they're
many
hunkering down.
turds, guys.
Still
You
in
can
bones.
only eat so
Battening
many
down the
turds.
hatches.
Yeah, and I
They
think
said
2024
they'll
will be a
have-
really good year for Ubisoft. Then going forward, they have they might very well have have several good years going forward after 2024.
I
But
think the
23 will be
determination
horrible.
of how they do will be how Assassin's Creed Mirage does. If that doesn't do that good, then the writing's right. That's going to be the writing on the wall.
I think
with where
Mirage is a first look into what we might be expecting.
It's just
in
a
the future.
big mirage.
But then again, I think we also don't forget. I think did you guys see the leaked footage of
Sorry.
Assassin's Creed Jade?
Nobody else.
Yeah,
The
No, I
mobile
didn't.
game. There was leaked footage of that. I think that might be coming out later this year, maybe.
I don't play mobile games. That's what.
This is
GFN is for.
I'm actually interested in it. I mean,
Is
sure,
it on
it is.
GFN? On my mobile phone?
It is built by a Chinese Ubisoft team, and I think
I don't
Tencent
trust
has a
them.
big part in this. And it's going to be free to play.
Okay.
So there are a lot of red flags. I'm assuming this will be like the Genshin Impact of Assassin's Creed, but they have described it as a AAA designed specifically for mobile, and looking back at mobile, I don't think we've ever had a AAA single player mobile game before.
No.
So this will be the first of its kind, and I'm
I'll
interested
believe
in
it
seeing
when
how
I
that
see
turns
it.
out.
Candy Crush.
Well,
Yeah,
what
but
he's
that
telling
is
you,
a
Vet,
AAA
if you
game
go
right
look
there.
at the footage, you can see it now. That's what he's telling
Yeah,
you.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
let me
looked
see if
decent.
it's
It
really
looked like Genshin
AAA.
Impact meets Assassin's Creed.
Jade.
I'm down for that.
Yeah, fair point. Ray, you were saying you did some betas on games that were cancelled.
Mhm.
Are you able to kind of roughly give us an idea of what kind of content? Go
Oh,
on,
those
you
NDAs are
chicken.
null and void now.
Yeah, they're dead. They killed the project. You're good. I've been
I'm
telling you, I'm under an NDA on Skull and
I
Bones. I'm still here. I'm not in prison
I-
yet.
I'm not saying the word because they could easily bring it back. Oh, you know what? Psych will bring it back. I'm just saying. No,
Tell
they-
me. And
What
I will
genre?
fill everyone in.
Yeah, Vet won't say anything.
Was it Star Wars? Come on.
Because one of
I'd
the
be the
characters
first to
share
say
your
something.
thing.
I don't care.
your
Bring it
first
up.
name, Rayman.
What's that? No, saying
I mean, looking at the future games we know that Ubisoft have in development that have been mentioned but maybe not fully announced. Like they are making an Indiana Jones game. They're making a Star Wars game. There were some rumors this week that it was basically
God. Is that one going to
They
get
would,
delayed
like-
too?
You guys don't seem to understand. Hold
Went to the
on.
Prince of Persia.
You guys don't seem to understand. You guys are totally missing the point. They're sitting here talking about games that they're making. Do you know yesterday they are losing money? You have no money, you have no games. You fire a staff,
they
you
like
can't
they need
make no
to survive,
games.
find a way to survive this, like 2023. In 2024,
I mean,
there's a lot of these games already.
Watch.
No.
It's
I bet you 10,
critical.
I bet you 10 to 1 they will be bought out by somebody by the end of the year.
You think this is you're going to I hear me now? You heard this. You're going to get more announcements of stuff that has to shut down. They don't want to,
Well,
but they have to stay
Okay.
in business and to stay afloat.
I'm sorry, but I lost all credibility for Anthony after that last comment. So his credibility is out the door. That's as good as saying Skull and Bones is coming out next week. So, you know, that credibility is done.
Yeah. But I actually found a.
That pirate ship has sailed.
Exactly.
Don't he got a Stadia game to go play right now? He doesn't.
Oh.
No. Game to go play right
No,
now.
he's got about an hour before he
Well,
goes and plays
he's
something
been trying to
that
play
glitches out.
Destiny for 3 days and he can't work out what's happening.
I heard, Anthony, I heard his backup. Go play it now. I heard his backup. Go play it now.
They turned it back on just for you.
They just turned it on. Go play it.
Oh.
Yeah, guys,
I'm not
let's
gonna
get back on track.
I'm not making fun of Stadia itself. We're
Ross,
just
did you
making
get
fun
the link I
of it.
sent you?
I did not.
Send the link in general. I found an
Nice.
interview for Infinity, where Cote was essentially he was answering he got a question about more diverse Assassin's Creed games, and what he answered was, I want our other studios that have contributed to wonderful ideas to the franchise. I keep using Ubisoft Sofia as an example. They built Assassin's Creed Rogue, something incredible with the Valhalla expansion Dawn of Ragnarok, and many other gems like the DLC for Origins Curse of the Pharaoh, which was brilliant as well. So can a studio like Sofia impress our community with a project that's not necessarily a 150 hours long product? Because when we build 150 hour long products, there's so much to rest on it commercially that the stakes become so high. Having Infinity will allow for more diversity in both the periods we choose to feature and the gameplay that those games have. And I think that pretty much sums up what they want to, how they want to approach. This is obviously in the scope of Assassin's Creed, but I think Ubisoft wants to do this for all their franchises going forward. I mean, they have publicly stated their goal in 2030 to have. I mean, currently they did what was it, Ray? 1.3 billion in revenue. All of Ubisoft for the last time they announced a full year, and their goal is for 2030 to have Assassin's Creed, Tom Clancy, and Far Cry. Those 3 brands alone to bring in 2 billion in revenue among them, and then anything that Ubisoft makes around that with all the other myriads of IPs they have is just on top of those 2 billion. So they essentially try to double the company with just those 3 brands in the next 8 years or 7 years, and I think this is how they try to get there. And but switching to going from having 15 studios making one Far Cry game into having 15 studios making 15 different Far Cry games, it's not something you can do. That takes a few years to do. And I think that's what we're seeing now. That's why they are they're burning down essentially to try to rise from the ashes as the style of company that they need to be to survive long term. The question is, of course, can they survive that burn down and get there? To me, that sounds perfect. That sounds just like what they should be doing. If you have someone who wants a multiplayer pirate game, build one with a team of 200 people. But don't spend have 500 people working on it for 10 years, as they have done in the past.
It's bloody piracy.
Yeah, I mean that's the old Ubisoft. The new Ubisoft is going to be different. The question is, can they make it?
Is it really?
I mean, that's the only way they can reach those 2 billion in revenue from those 3 franchises alone. So they kind of have to. I don't see how else they're gonna get there. They're not getting there, and like the way they're doing things right now is never gonna get them there. So, or in the past.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, there's somebody that we should ask. Hang on.
Oh god.
This isn't intentional. This isn't intentional, but I have to go.
What? It's tough.
I gotta go.
I gotta go.
Hey, it's hard to wave when you're driving.
Number one, it's time to put some legitimacy on this panel as a.
Hold up, time out. I got time out. Are you?
Let me finish. Number two.
This ain't your show.
Time out.
Are you driving?
Hey, the louder you get, the less we can hear you.
I'm not. I want to say this.
Cars going by. You are driving, sir.
Hold on, let him talk, and then let him get in the accident.
I think before we let him talk, I think SPG, you said you were gonna have to drop. So thank you for joining us, man.
Oh yeah, no problem, man.
Take care, man.
Take care.
Now feel free to drop whenever you need to.
Cool. Now we got SPG off of this panel. No, honestly, you know what? Who I have to agree with the most is no. Listen, the person who's making all the sense is really Ray, right? At the end of the day, it really is about money. And as much as gamers, right? From our mind, we're like, I want my game and I want it now, and it's taking 8 years. But Ray said it the best, dude. They got stockholders, they got investments. This stuff has to meet the supply and demand. Now, Ubisoft was pretty popular, I'll say 2020 going into 2021, right? I did a video saying that I never seen a company have 5 AAA games come out in less than a year. And that wasn't even including Far Cry 6, right? So the problem with Ubisoft is their games are always AAA, right? But the thing is, they haven't been as popular as years before. I think people are getting, whenever you hear people say, oh, it's just Assassin's Creed. So the thing is, it's called supply and demand. And Ray hit the nail on the head. We want it. We shaking our rattle like HOULTS always say, I'm a selfish gamer. But the thing is, they realize, wait, yes, some games are selling well. Yes, right? But I don't think they're as popular as they once was. And so the thing is, if they bring it out, they gotta fill it out that, whoa, this is gonna make a lot of money, or this is gonna get a lot of subscribers. And I think they're realizing that subscription service and gaming, I think Rokk said is the best. You gotta keep giving people stuff to play. I think the popularity of Ubisoft games aren't what it was. And so they probably realized, man, a subscription service made sense because we got a lot of games, but our games aren't as popular as they used to be. And so I think that's the big deal. So that's what I think. I think Ray is 100% correct. What I think. And I don't even like Ray. I only like his mom, but I gotta agree with him.
I knew that. I was waiting for that. You were being way too nice to him.
It's the old 1-2 switch, isn't it? Eh?
I just want to say, thank you for moving Rokk away from me, because all stream he's been looking me directly in the eye. And because I'm looking straight at me screen.
I know. I don't normally do it, you see.
Now I've got Rudiggz looking around, which is cool, but Rockman's just, it's like a staring competition.
Cut off.
Ray, you're always cut off.
Why am I at the bottom? Shouldn't I be in the middle?
What I'm seeing,
Oh, did I fix it for you?
In the middle.
No, it's just weird with Rokk, because Rock's eyes, because he had that effect, it was just I thought I was having a staring competition with him, just looking at the screen. So
yeah, but he's cheating using AI, so.
Now, Rokk, you said this is what the NVIDIA broadcasting app. They have a new update.
Yeah, update. So not only does it have the eyeball thing, which by the way is listed in some kind of language I don't recognize. Like it's obvious they didn't build it themselves. It's like an Asian language.
Eyeballish.
Yeah. But they've also got
eyeballish.
another one which is quite cool called Vignette. So you can have that kind of dark edge around the camera.
That looks
quite
cool,
nice. Like you get with certain lenses. What else have they got here? I think the rest of it's pretty much the same, but they may have improved some of them, like background blur and stuff. Maybe.
What that came out today?
Yeah, while the show was on, so I installed it. It popped up and
Okay.
said there's an update for it.
So that's what you were trying to tell me earlier when we was talking. I didn't understand what you were saying. Earlier when we was chatting, you were saying something like there must have been an update that could have messed something up. You was talking about, you was mentioning OBS.
I was on about my NVIDIA drivers. The
Was that when?
The GPU drivers, yeah.
Yeah,
Staring into my soul?
My NVIDIA GPU, whenever time I load Spider-Man, it says, your driver's not updated, and it is, but it's just coming up with an error in certain Steam games.
Have you been having issues with the
And
driver
HOULTS,
as well?
how does that make you feel?
Yes.
Yeah, it's forced up OBS for
I
me.
thought we were on a talk show for a moment.
Bjorn, please take it away.
HOULTS, why are you loading up Spider-Man on a PC? Don't you have the PS5?
Yeah, but you have to see what it's like on the more powerful system. So I've played it
Come on
on
now, we all
PS4,
know
PS5, and
We all know what the most powerful system out there is, and it's not the PS5. It's PC.
What are you talking about?
It's SPG's
That's what he's
PC. Specifically, his
Well,
PC.
yeah.
I've-
PC, because clearly we all know that.
I wanted to play it in like a 32.9 aspect ratio again, so I triple dived in it again to play it, so it looks lovely. So that's why I played it again on PC.
That's the only best
do you-
place to play it.
Oh, good. Go ahead, Cowboy.
Does anybody else think they'll get purchased? Like Vet was saying?
I don't think they will. I don't think they will be purchased,
Well-
and I think
well-
they will probably have shut down several studios, fire a couple of thousand people from their 20,000 roster that they have right now.
So
But I think they will.
Remember-
But I think they will come out of
Too
it. Yeah,
See-
I think they will come out of it the better company for it. I think.
I
Ubisoft will
feel
be
like I'm
a big
I feel
one
like I'm totally a
player
mean
for years.
gamer because 10 years ago I never wanted a Black Flag pirate game. Then when it evolved, I never wanted that game. I never wanted Skull and Bones, and every time I hear about it, I'm like, oh, it doesn't bother me as a gamer if it comes out or not. So all panel have been
yeah, I
listening.
agree.
Your takes.
I
on that.
agree.
It
I mean, at
doesn't-
the same time, I'm the kind of gamer who I don't think I've ever played a Ubisoft game that I didn't like. There have been Ubisoft games that have been like, yeah, it was fine, but they for me they're always if I don't know what to play, picking anything from Ubisoft is usually is always pretty much a good
But
bet. I know I'm getting quality. It's not going to be
man.
the best game I've ever played. But it's always
I'm
going to be a
much more
good
picky,
game.
man. It's like I feel like they're just copying and pasting. I mean, if you played
Yeah,
one
but I like
Assassin's
the
Creed,
stuff they're
you've
copying and
played 'em
pasting, so.
all. And I really want these new experiences, something to happen. Like Far Cry 6 is just Far Cry 5 but different. It's just copy and paste, and they really need to move the needle to create something that's
I think
different
in
for
a
the
lot of
gamer.
ways. I think everyone is different. But I did have a conversation with someone today about the important. We were specifically talking about role-playing games and fantasy games, and I mean I essentially we both quite quickly agreed that the gameplay can be the same old gameplay that we've played so many times before, or it can be something revolutionary or anything in between. It can be even be just barely decent if the world building and the world design and the world building, the lore around it is good. It can still be enjoyable, and if the storyline is and the writing is good, it can still be enjoyable. And I think for me at least,
Well,
Ubisoft
Steve,
games
for
have
me,
always.
gameplay has to be number one.
I mean, who enjoyed flighting? That was so annoying. I never liked to
No, I
flight
liked it.
anybody. That was
It was-
just
it was
that was
fun.
just skip. I don't want to deal with language puzzles. It's just
No,
I want
flighting was fun.
gameplay
The,
to be epic. I want big
Yeah.
scenes. I want emotion.
That's why I can't play Mass Effect or any of the games where you're just constantly choosing different dialogue. Just
Good
let
point.
me play the game.
That's why that's what half of the games I play is just dialogue choices. So I mean, we're all different.
I know
in
you
that.
love it, mate. I know.
Now,
Horses
I
for
remember though,
courses.
remember after last year, after they showed Ubisoft Scalar, they did say they're not looking to be purchased, but they are open to it. So remember, they did say.
Yeah,
they're
but
open
every
to it.
company is open to it, mate.
I just want to put that
I
out
mean,
there.
in the past, I think in the past they've said like we're not even open to it, but that was mainly because they had this hostile takeover attempt. Like that was still a bit sour, and then they started seeing other companies being purchased, and like, I mean, if the offer's right, we're not gonna say no. That was essentially what they said. Like if someone says we'll pay 5 times the amount of like, you'll be able to give all of these 20,000 people like enough money to last them a lifetime, and I mean, and all shareholders like they're not gonna say no, but at the same time, they like being an independent publisher, and they are honestly like they're having a shit time right now, but they're kind of good at it. Like at the end of the day, like just look back at what they've done over their lifetime. I mean, I mean, and I love bringing this up as an example. I mean, you know that like if I say the night vision goggle sound, you all know what I mean, right? Like that sound effect that plays whenever someone in a movie, TV show, or game. Yeah, it originates from Splinter Cell. They invented it, and it's being used in Hollywood all the time now.
But where's Splinter Cell now? Like, give me something cool.
Coming.
It's coming.
No, the guy.
When's the last time we got it?
The guy that what's he called? Caseball UK, who I mentioned.
Yeah, they said
earlier.
they was working on a new one.
Yeah,
they did say that.
It's been delayed.
Yeah,
they are.
It's probably been delayed.
Unless it's canceled and delayed.
Ray, go.
What Ubisoft game was nominated at the Game Awards?
Nothing.
That's a good shout.
So I'm going to explain something to you guys. And I'm going to enlighten you guys. Other developers are just making game like when you you have the God of War and you have the Elden Ring. Guys are looking at other games that they are innovating and changing the way. So with Rue, you know what? I love Far Cry. But you know what? He just said something. Copy and paste. And I'm sitting here, God dang it, he's absolutely right. It's the same thing, it's just different. You have to come with something different that's going to grab money and people's dollars. And they're not doing that with Riders Republic, with the
At the same time, there was in one, like I think it's almost a year now, or a year or two ago now, I think there was a discussion on the Play Watch Listen podcast when these are people working in the game industry and has for decades at this point, all of them. They had a conversation like, what is the Hollywood blockbuster of video games? Someone had mentioned that like it started out like, is Call of Duty the blockbuster, and they ended up saying no, because they are doing some cutting edge stuff in a lot of ways. What they ended up with is Assassin's Creed and Far Cry is the Hollywood blockbusters of the video game world. It's good entertainment. You're gonna have fun. It's never gonna win, it's not gonna be nominated for many awards. It's not groundbreaking, but it's a lot of content and a lot of fun while playing it for most people. So that like if you're buying 5 games a year or less than that, if you want to make your games count, it's never gonna be a bad deal to buy a Ubisoft game, and that's what they've been for the last couple of years. Like they want to get away from that. I don't think
they're not making money.
The time for that.
Making money for the company.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be that was a great money maker for them, and nowadays it's no longer doing that. So I mean, they need to pivot away from that. But that worked in the past. That's like they were I agree. They were the MCU of the video world.
So they paid 68.7 for Activision, EA rather, right? Apparently, Ubisoft's worth about 4.7 billion. I mean, it's pocket change.
Yeah. I mean, if someone want to snag them, now is the great time to do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's probably going to get blocked in France.
But then they got to pay all their employees unless they just like start slashing it.
I mean, Ubisoft's going to go. Or I mean, they can wait 6 months and have Ubisoft start slash like 25% of it, and then buy them, and then they get. Like 15,000 people, and probably generally really good ones. So yeah, but I think I think there will be. I don't think this is this isn't the end of Ubisoft. I think this is the start of a new Ubisoft, but it's going to be a bumpy ride to get there, and I think it's going to take a year. So yeah, that's my.
And they're not going to be
My
the
take on
only
it.
company. You will hear in the
No.
next coming days or months, other companies are going to. It's the inevitable. It's going to happen.
Yeah. To be fair to Ubisoft, they were nominated for in 2021. They actually had, let's see, 3 nominations. No, 4 nominations in the Game Awards in 2021. They had a bad year this year, but in 2021 they had a decent year. Riders Republic was nominated for Best Sports Game, didn't win that. Far Cry 6 was nominated for Best Action Game and for Innovation and Accessibility. And then I think there was one more game here that I can't find in the list.
2022, the last Game Award.
This year they had a crappy year, but they even said it themselves that they had a crappy year this year. So let's not hold that against them. We all know they had a bad year this year.
Yeah, and companies can bounce back. They can bounce back, but it comes from the top. It comes from leadership, and it comes from I don't know. I mean, the guys like, dude, we had a crappy 2022. The ball's in your court. Get out there, get these deadlines. We need some hits. We need some games. We need to make some money.
Yep. And we're looking at 2020. It was the same thing. 3 nominations. And I mean, Ubisoft has in the past been, like, I think Ubisoft were the first, I think, to really start making accessibility a thing. I think we wouldn't be where we are today with accessibility if it wasn't for Ubisoft.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're a horror. I think Ubisoft is one of my favorite companies. I'm just saying that they're not making money because other people are going at other games. That's like what Rue's saying. I don't want to play the same style of game. I want something different. And people are going out there and they're buying these other games. And the proof is in the pudding. They're not buying.
No, it's a good point.
Yeah,
I
can't
look how many
Soul-likes an
Ubisoft
Ubisoft game as a gamer.
I
How
know
many
that's
Souls games and roguelites and
exactly.
it's a different environment. I hate all those games and I love Ubisoft games, but if I'm in a minority, then they're not selling those games, are they?
Well, I really loved Sparks of Hope, and it's a shame that to hear the numbers wasn't very successful there with this Mario Rabbids. But my thought was because a lot of people were in the emulating space on the Switch, so I feel like it never sold well, and I feel like because people are doing that, it will actually hurt the franchise going forward. So even though I love that kind of game, I feel like now Ubisoft is probably going to be done with future projects.
Fair to play to Ubisoft as well. I mean, they've been averaging 3 to 5 nominations a year since 2017, as far as I've gone. But also 2017 was the last time they actually won something at the Game Awards. And they won for
2017 was the last time they came.
But that was and they won for best strategy game with Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
Oh.
I mean, me, I want more Rayman Legends, another Ubisoft, the Child of Light, the Valiant Hearts. That's the project I want Ubisoft. Give me sort of like that 10-hour colourful game.
Yeah, but how many HOULTS are there that want that kind of
just-
stuff? That's the question.
I mean, they have about to my counting here, I can find 22 big IPs.
Hi guys, it's been a pleasure.
Lovely to have you, Ray.
Take care,
Take care, buddy.
All
Can
right.
I go now as well?
Yeah, go for it. Goodbye. Thank you for joining us, Rock. We're gonna wrap up in just a minute.
No worries.
So you can drop if you want. It's perfectly fine.
He'll stop staring at me.
All right. Wait. So Bjorn
Hang on.
said, Rock, it's okay. You can dip out if you want, and then everybody just leaves all at once.
Yeah.
The great thing about this plugin is you can play The Witcher and everybody thinks that you're talking.
That's awesome.
Rude's
Okay.
Still here.
I just had the eyes looking at me for an hour. Not once did he move his eyebrows or anything like that to show any, facial features of the
Yeah.
eyes. It was just a stare. I was like,
Sometimes
I
when
mean,
he's
look-
looking away, it's just like that cat clock. It's just
Yeah.
like tick tock, tick tock.
No. I'm looking at a list of IPs owned by Ubisoft. It's quite a big list. Quite decent.
Oh, it's massive, yeah.
I mean, I was excited for Ubisoft games when I first saw Assassin's Creed for the first time, or when I reversed time in Prince of Persia, or when I was with my friend doing co-op in Splinter Cell. I just feel like they never evolved from there, and they just kept making those exact same experiences over and over again. And
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, they if you like, I think the problem with Assassin's Creed specifically is the evolvement was so iterative over the years. Like if you compare AC1 or AC2 with like Unity after all the patches or Syndicate, it's massively different games at the end of the day. Like there's been a lot of changes happening throughout those years.
Well, that's what I'm worried about Splinter Cell. You know, Sam Fisher, the way he used to infiltrate in the 90s was like perfect. But now with modern infiltration, with like drones and other tech, I just don't feel like it'll captivate the audience.
Yeah, I think they mentioned that they were gonna go try to go back.
No,
to the
because
roots.
the audience has changed. The gamers have.
Yeah, and I think that's also a big one.
We have
unless
TikTok
they tell a
now.
story, unless they tell a
We need
story.
to be
and-
entertained every minute, every 30
They need
seconds with
games
something
that
big.
appeal to someone like me.
Good shout.
I'm just saying, the vast majority want either something that's fast paced. They don't want that typical style that.
Yeah,
Ubisoft
I think
has
they
done
need all of it.
forever.
I think they need all of it, and to be able to make all of it, they need to scale down the development process of these
They
games.
saw how I played
think they will.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
I was going to say that that's because you don't like stealth.
They could turn the company around if they just geared most of their games towards my style. I mean, I can take an old ass game like Odyssey and make it brand new, because if you play it the way I do, even if you've beaten it before, it's a completely different game when all you're doing is running around slaughtering villages.
Yeah,
Just saying.
it is.
I'm like, they should just gear everything around my game style and they'd make millions.
Maybe they
Throwing
will,
that out there
and
for any
maybe they
developer
will. I guess we'll
build the
see.
game. Contact me. You know where to find me.
Exactly. But guys, we've been going for
Grubby
2 hours,
soft.
and it's been amazing to have you all.
I had to say something. I was quiet for way too long.
It's been amazing to have you all. Thank you so much for joining us. We've been going for 2 hours, so I figure we should start wrapping up. So
Yeah,
Rokk
it's
can
like my nap time. 3 minutes overdue.
Exactly.
That's why he's getting cranky.
So let's go around the table really quick before we shut down. Cowboy, what's happening with you for the next week?
Oh my god, this is going to take us an hour.
Who did you ask?
Cowboy.
Cowboy?
Oh,
one
I
that's
thought you said
driving.
Shabba. I was thinking about Shabba.
Oh yeah. Oh, you know what's funny?
Look, it's already dark
It's
where he's at. He's been driving
It's
for
not
so long.
gonna take long at all. All right.
It's dark for
Long
me
story
too.
short, I will be streaming today at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, giving Stadia the best send-off ever, because I've streamed 30 days of Stadia. So guys, tune in to day 25. That's right, I've been streaming Stadia for 25 days straight. We got, 5 more days or whatever it is. So,
Sorry.
yeah, I'm done.
Awesome.
Oh, sorry.
Uh,
Wrong controller. Sorry, that's a PlayStation. Wait. Oh, wrong one. That's a Luna controller. Oh, I don't have any Stadia controllers now. I sold. I gave them
Vet.
away.
I never liked the
Yes,
Stadia controller. I don't know. I
No,
always used the
I love
Xbox
it.
Elite.
So it's so
That's
nice.
a shame, man.
But
That's a shame.
what's happening with you over the next couple of?
I'm going live
days?
in 25 minutes to do a first look at High on Life, and then I will be doing I'll be joining a one night only podcast. Dr. Spaceman and I are resurrecting Cloud Station TV for the one we formed like well over a year ago. So we're bringing that back for a one night only tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then tomorrow, I think I'm going to do a first look at the Callisto Protocol. So I'm sure that will last me about 10 minutes, and then I'll probably Alt F4 the whole damn game. And
No,
stream
you're good.
possibly.
You're good for the first 4 hours, and then you won't go anywhere,
I
mate.
don't even stream that long, so anymore. I'm too old for that. But no, I'm going to do a first look at that, and then I may dive back into Warframe, and then weekend I'll be watching football.
And how long?
What I got going on. What is it?
What?
No, I just wonder how long Vet was going to be talking.
No, well, we got as far as the football he was watching. I was waiting for him to tell us what he was cooking on dinner for Sunday. It was-
Probably pork roast.
I'll be grilling.
Exactly.
Saturday and Sunday.
HOULTS, what's happening with your place?
I've just updated my monitor, so I fixed the HDR and brightness issue, and it absolutely looks gorgeous. So I'm going to actually play Grid Legends, and tomorrow there's an update for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot on the Xbox and PlayStation 5. So I'll be picking a platform, and I'll actually be playing that throughout the week.
Dragon.
Any chance of getting a channel from you this week?
Oh yeah, but do you know, actually joining in this. Actually, I know Rock's been mentioning this sort of streaming software, and I've just been looking at throughout the panel, and it's actually quite nice. So I think maybe tonight I'll actually have a little tinker with it tomorrow and see what's it all about.
I don't know that we wanted to know you're going to be having a little tinker with it tonight, mate.
Yeah, it's a little tinker.
We're going to come back next week and everything's
do you know what?
broken.
Right? I don't know if you noticed this, right? But I was joining Cowboy's stream yesterday, and I loaded up the Melon app, and I just seen your mug in the corner, and it went, "You're going live." I was like, "Shit!" I was texting, log into my Melon, but I thought we were going to go live at 10 o'clock. Hello, I'm Rokk. Nice to see you.
That would have been hilarious. Rudiggz, what's happening with you over the next couple of days?
Well, my send off to Stadia. I'm gonna be rocking some Stadia again tonight. I've been absolutely tearing through Sekiro. I actually beat half of the game in about an hour and a half.
What?
So I'm way past the half point. I'm making my way, so I may actually just come to an end tonight for the entire game.
Wow.
Been tearing through it. On Wednesday, though, next week, I'm going to do an extra long, planning to stay up until 3 a.m. my time just to play until the very end of Stadia. So it'll be bittersweet, but I want to get, like Cowboy's doing, he inspired me, man. I want to get as much Stadia as I can in.
Doesn't
do it, man.
Awesome. So just playing my favorite games on stream tonight at 10, RUDIGGZ in YouTube and Twitter.
Nice. Rokk, what's happening with you for the next couple of weeks?
I was just wondering when, midnight is, midnight Pacific is 8 p.m. UK, is it? No, that's midday.
That's Bjorn, because he started the show by saying he hasn't got an effing clue about the time.
8 a.m.
Fucking time zones. So I told Rudiggz, it was like, it's starting at, I said it's starting at 2, and they was like, oh.
Be 9 a.m. Be 9 a.m. for you actually, Bjorn.
Yeah. I can play some Stadia. Right.
Yeah, 8:59 a.m. for you. 7:59
I'll play some Stadia before it shuts down before my morning meeting.
Let's go.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say we could have done Destiny with Rudiggz, but that ain't going to happen, is it?
I was playing Destiny right into the end. You know, on that last day,
you could say it
hours,
was Destiny.
Really?
I was in the tower. I was just doing emotes. Everybody I found who jumped in from Stadia, I added them to my friends list. It was a bittersweet.
It was destined to happen, though.
Did you know it was coming to an end? Did they say it's going to be up to the refresh on Tuesday, and then that's the end of it?
Yeah, they had it on the Bungie Help Twitter, so I knew it was coming. As they said. Yeah.
It's a shitter, isn't it?
And Rudiggz, let them know. Rudiggz won the last Destiny match that I streamed. I did like a special Destiny stream that day, and Rudiggz came in, and we all played a bunch of games. Yeah, and he won the very last match that I streamed of Destiny.
Against Maker of Chaos, boom, FCAT,
yep,
and yourself. So it was a tight one.
It was, and I also want to give Rudiggz some credit, man. He is the master of Sekiro, and this dude got me, like, I listened to him, he talked me through it, and I beat this one enemy and didn't get touched. I literally been excelling in this game by listening to Rudiggz. He is amazing.
Did you see my comment yesterday, Cowboy? I'm going to actually get Obi Rose as my mentor, and I'm going to get him to train me up in the ways of Sekiro.
Oh, okay.
I'll be like you and Rudiggz. Oh,
I'll train Cowboy, and then we'll do PvP, HOULTS versus Cowboy.
There you go. There you go.
I think Cloudbusters, your question for HOULTS is probably going to have to wait until next week. But I'm also interested to know what HOULTS think of the new GFN Ultimate. But let's hold that discussion for next week, because it's getting late over here.
So we got to me and Rock Around the Clock tomorrow, and that'll do. Back now to my good friend from Canada, Mr. Rudiggz.
I think I did my presentation.
This was for your good friend Bjorn from Sweden.
You're going to
doing from Sweden, Bjorn.
I'm probably not. I might finish editing my videos on either Pokemon Scarlet or about. But I have a problem with that. I don't have enough footage. So if anyone watching this or anyone on this panel have recorded footage of Pokemon Scarlet or are able to do so, please do that for me.
I've got Violet if you want that.
That works too. I just need some raw. I just need some B-roll. I'm out of B-roll.
What's the difference between the two Pokemon?
Just different.
Just which start. Just which mount you get, I think.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what, Bjorn? Actually, I'll actually send you my Nintendo Switch, and I'll send you all this. I've put about 100 hours in, so if you want some,
I just need some footage. So,
some beat film. No. Here's the whole
please give some
system.
beat.
Yeah, take the system.
I mean, we have one, but I don't have any good way to record any footage of it. So that would be very helpful if I could get.
Can't you just set your phone up on a tripod?
Yeah, but that will look like
I'm gonna
shit.
actually design my character look all stylish so I can be on Bjorn's video. Look at Nintendo HOULTS. Look,
Yeah, perfect. I also have a video on Mountain Blade Bannerlord in the works, but I might not be able to finish those because I'm spending most of my time right now prepping my the big charity event that several guys, pretty much all of you here except HOULTS for now, and I think have
you
signed up for.
Can't even bet on him turn up to this show, mate. Let alone your charity gig.
You can bet.
So
currently,
I'm like, if you so a bit of a teaser for you guys. If you join the charity event in the end of February and donate to any of the participating streams, and it will be several, like probably around 20 people doing streams throughout that weekend for charity. And if you donate to any of them, and with your email address, you'll be in the drawings for several giveaways. Currently, I'm up to 19 games that have been donated by developers, and I'm I think I have 4 more developers that have said they are going to donate keys, but I haven't gotten the keys yet. So we're probably looking like something like 25, 30 games being given away, which will be like over a weekend. So giveaway bonanza over there. So.
What's the date? What's the date again? Bjorn?
February 24th, 25th, and 26th, and then I'm probably gonna do a stream on the evening on the Monday to do all the giveaways. Just now that when the 26th is over for the Pacific people, I gotta work for a few hours, and then I'll probably sit down and just do 30 drawings or something. So yeah. Don't miss that.
Nice.
That's coming up in the end of February. So it's like 5-6 weeks to go. But I'm spending most of my time prepping that right now, to be honest. Reaching out to developers and streamers and starting to prep overlays and things. Yeah, it's a lot of work going into it.
Well,
guys,
you certainly had the longest time out of all of us telling us what you were doing, mate. So thank you for that.
I figured that's the host. Yeah, host privilege. But guys, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week with some new fun topic. We'll see what we end up with and see who joins us. But hopefully it will be just as good as this week. Because this has been one hell of a show. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. Goodbye.
Take care, guys.